見て見えだよ Hi everybody Hi Hello 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 Hi Hello 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 こんばんはみんなこんにちはこんばんはおはよう Hi everybody Hello 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 internet Hello Hi hi You like my glasses? Do I look fancy? Am I looking smart? Am I looking smart today? I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda nervous. How is everybody? Did everyone have a good day today? Did you guys do anything fun today? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really do much besides study. All I did was study. I was so worried about the stream that I decided to purely study for the entire day. Just a whole day of study. I haven't done that since university, which was 2 years ago. It was ages ago. I so long ago, man. I really haven't done that in such a long time. And I was like, I wonder if I'll be able to, like, you know, actually teach anything today. Like, I was worried about it. But no, I think I'm okay. I think I'll be fine. Oh, people are renewing their memberships. Streamlabs, please. I'm about to give you brain cells. Well, I can't really give you my brain cells. Unfortunately, axons don't really extend through the screen. But I can give you the information that has been stored within my brain cells. Yeah, does that make you feel better? Nice glasses, thank you. Should you bring a notebook? Oh right, speaking of which, okay, guys. I didn't want to share with you everything from what I prepared today before the stream. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload my file that I have so graciously made for you. Let's see, it's this one. I have a PDF file for you guys. Just give me a second. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, I found it. ね copy this, done that. Alright, so hold on. Organized Sensei. Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna make a Google Drive link for you guys, okay? Hold on. Okay. I think this is shareable. I hope this is shareable. Let's see. Share. Yeah, anybody with the link, copy the link. Okay, I got this. Okay, you guys ready to see this? Okay. I really hope that this works. Wait, can I make the link shorter? No, I guess not. There you go. Tell me if that works. Also, Rez, thank you for the 1 month. Have an apple? I don't like apples. I hate apples. I don't like apples. It works. Hey, okay, now you can see all the shit that I'm gonna tell you today. I'm gonna sound like a smartass. Continuous education admission fee.
Continuous education admission fee.
Starlight, thank you. I told you guys, I spent a long time, a really fucking long time trying to set this up and write everything, okay? I have a story about how I prepared for this, okay? Like a long long story. Before we get into it, hold on. I'm gonna set myself up a little. Okay. This can go there. Okay. Okay. Alright. I'm seeing the PDF for me is on the left side of my screen, so yeah. This took me. I'm gonna tell you guys how I came to the conclusion that it was okay to do a physiology stream, alright? So earlier this year, my parents were like, when are you gonna get a job, Mie? Oh, Ryan, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, they were just like, you need to go back into the healthcare field and like use your degrees because you want a stable life and blah 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 blah. Right, right? And I'm like, okay, you know what? That makes sense. That makes sense. They're worried about me, right? And they want me to have a very stable income and shit. Totally understandable. I get it. And so I was like, but it's been a while since I've been in university. It's been about 2 years. Like I graduated in 2021. And I was like, feels kind of out of practice. Like I can say I know stuff and I have my degree, but to what extent do I still remember everything? So I was just like, I'm gonna go study for a bit. And then after studying for a while, I noticed that, dang, the only things that I really remember is the cardiac cycle. And like anything to do with the heart. I genuinely like studying heart things. Oh.
Is this enough for the continuing education fee?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, I was just, I was thinking about it. And, I felt like to really be sure if I know stuff, like, I guess I could teach it. And if I explain things right, and I make it so that everyone understands, then I'm doing my job well. And I still remember how to do things. So, that's how I came to the conclusion. You know what? Maybe I can teach you guys some stuff. And I know that no matter how much I say, hey, I have a degree in healthcare. I studied all this shit. I used to work in healthcare. No matter how many times I say that, no matter how many times, no one's really gonna believe it until I prove it. And I'm not doing this just to prove it to other people. I'm trying to prove to myself that I still remember things that I learned and that my degree is still valid. I'm trying to validate myself right now, okay? Like, I loved studying with like my friends and stuff in uni, and I loved doing what I did in healthcare and all. But do I still remember it? I hope I do. Which is why I started studying. And you know what? I know a lot of you were like, Mia, you're so smart, you're so talented, you can do so many things. And I still struggle to see that sometimes. Like, I'm not always the most confident thing in the universe that be like, I know how to draw, I can do this, I can do that. I sing, I dance, I speak 5 languages, I'm big brain. Sometimes I don't believe it, okay? But today is the day that I changed that and I'm like, guys, I'm a big brain you. And I'm gonna, be smart for once and not look like an airhead. So I remember someone commented like, Mia, you're such a klutz. You're sometimes so cute. And yet, it's hard to believe that you have a healthcare degree in something. I'm like, okay, I know I'm cute. Thank you for the compliment. But why does that negate you from believing that I can have a degree in healthcare? Huh? Show, don't tell. Exactly. But you know what? I also just thought, like, it's kind of cool if I got to teach you guys some things that you could use. Like, I don't want to give you things that are... I'm not gonna share things with you that I think are useless. Like, I feel like at some point, you would learn a little bit about, like, the heart, for example. Like, what I'm gonna teach you guys today. I think at some point you learn about it, or at least you kind of know it, but you don't really understand it. Like, today is the day that I tell you what you kind of already know, but not sure that you know. Educational VTuber stuff. Thank you! Thank you. Oh, hi, Edie. Hi. So, the thing is, the other thing that I was actually worried about, earlier this week, I had... like a little epiphany, is that the word? Not really epiphany, more like a slight worry about, not even slight, it was actually a pretty big worry, about whether I should do this stream or not. Because I know that the majority of my community is subscribed to me for the, you know, the more fun type stuff. You know, the fun games and the Genshin and the Splatoon and the Pokemons and, you know, the fun karaoke stream kind of thing. You know, not so much the language stuff or like the talking stuff or educational stuff. So I was worried, like, are you guys actually gonna come to the stream? Are you guys actually interested in me doing something like this? And then in Discord, the whole thing happened where, you know, you guys took teasing just a little bit too far that day and I broke down crying. But like, I was just like, I don't know if I should do it. But I talked to some friends and I talked to some of my IRL friends, and they were like, Mia, you should know that your viewers are here for you. Doesn't matter what you do. They're gonna support you and they tease you, but know that if they want to be there, they're gonna be there. And if they don't want to be there, then they won't go. But as long as you're happy doing the stream, then you should do it. So I was like, okay, fine. I won't cancel the stream. I won't change it. I'll do it. And I won't let my 6 hours of hard work of like writing this entire lesson plan go to waste. So if you guys start to make fun of me in chat today, I am going to cry. I spent 4 years studying this shit in university, and I studied it again for you for like the entire week. So if you guys make fun of me today, I will literally just end the stream and I'll be like, nope, I'm not doing this ever again. This is archived. Nope, this is not gonna be archived, and then no one's ever gonna see it ever again.
We are here cause of you. Who you are and what you can bring.
Oh, thank you for the super angry Canadian. Yeah. Not many VTubers do this kind of content. That is true. I haven't really seen any other VTuber do stuff like this. So maybe if today's stream goes well, then I'll do more. I'll do more. I'll make it a series. Trust me, I know a lot. Today's just the heart, guys. It's just the heart. Okay. Hold on. I'ma pull up some nice BGM music that we can listen to, so it's not just the same thing on repeat over and over and over again. Falk, you really think this is gonna be interesting? I hope so. I sincerely hope so. Okay. Let's see. This one. And then...
I'm ready to get learned.
Oh my god, Rez! Thank you for the super. Thank you. Another bioorganic chemistry. Trust me, you'll see. You'll see. You will see. Okay. Ow! Don't hurt my ears, please. Don't hurt my ears. Ow! Okay. Turn this on. Put this on shuffle. Ayy. Okay. Oh, okay, this should be fine. I major about. Oh, interesting. Cool. Well, now you get to see me teach it. I hope. Okay. Are you ready? It's time. It's gotta be time. Okay. Aha! We here. We out here. Okay. This looks good, right? Right? This look okay? We? I'll make music really quiet to the point you can barely hear it. Okay? Looks good. We're looking good. Yeah. Fancy, innit? Also, I made sure that I could like draw on it while talking and stuff, just in case I have things that I forgot. So, what color should I make that? Probably like a nice... Ooh, can I make it like blue? That's a little too light. Let's go... How about this purple? That's a pretty purple. Okay. I'm picky. I'm picky. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Today, okay, I'm not gonna lie. Today, if you look at the PDF file that I have imparted to you to follow along with, you'll see that I drew a lot, did not write as much as I drew. Okay? Because I figured that having more drawings would help out more than words. So I'll say the words. You can just listen to me. I hope that helps. Okay. Visuals are easier? Yeah. You like my handwriting? Thank you. This took me a very long time. Look, if you see the day I started it, January 23rd. I've worked on this for 5 days. It's been a while. That's how long I've been preparing for this stream. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna keep it basic. We're gonna do very basic things today. Alright? Just the basics of the heart. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? We're not gonna go in too much detail. Alright? Okay? There's actually a part of the notes that I sent you guys at the bottom. You'll see a graph and some stuff about cardiomyocytes. And I do not know if I want to teach you that today. I really have no idea if that's a good idea to teach right now because it can get pretty difficult to understand. But you know what? That's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay? Okay. Now, today is going to be very, very simple. We're starting from the most superficial parts. And then we're gonna go all the way down to the cellular level. We're starting from the top to the bottom. From the outside to the inside. I figured that doing it this way would make it easier to like orient yourself about what the fuck it is I'm talking about. Okay? Okay. So, cardiovascular system first. Where the blood flows around your body, parts of the heart, and then how does it go boom, 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 boom. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you right now, the way that I'm gonna teach things today is not gonna be like any professor. Alright? I have a way of studying that other people will just be like, oh my god, you're so cute. Because I like to make sound effects. That's how I study. I don't use words. I just go like, okay, boobly. And it works. All right, trust me. You're gonna understand. You're gonna understand everything. I promise. You're gonna understand the way my brain understands the heart. This is what this stream is today. Okay. I'll try and keep a watch a chat too. Okay. I'm not just gonna focus on the whatever it is I'm trying to say to you, but I'll look at chat. If you have questions, then ask me the questions. If I miss it, then I miss it. I'm not gonna set up the Q&A thing because it's gonna get too complicated. But I'm gonna look at chat. All right. So I'll do my best to keep an eye on you guys. Now, I'm gonna say that whatever you learned here today, you may not remember, and that's okay. And I've had years and years to study this, so I understand it. I don't know what it's like to not understand it. So if I say something and you don't get it, just tell me, okay? Okay. I'm ready. Also, I am qualified in some way or form to teach this, I think. I could have been a high school teacher like with this degree, but nah. Yeah. I will be different. Okay. Tanta. What is cardiovascular system? It is made up of 3 things. And 3 things only. Well, in its fundamental form. 3 things and 3 things only. So you get the heart that goes like boom, boom, boom. You know, the heart that goes like doki doki suru. Right? And then you got little tunnels like arteries and veins where your blood goes through. When your heart pumps blood, it's gotta go through something somewhere, right? And that's the tunnel. It's your arteries and your veins. Yeah. And then you got blood. You got your blood, the liquid that actually moves from one place to another. Yeah. Now what you may not know is that the heart does not only push the blood throughout the body, it will regulate how much blood pressure and what blood volume you have. And by doing that, like if you're exercising or something, it'll pump harder, right? Normal. I think that's like every gym person knows that. and how much volume gets sent where. Yeah. And it does so because it has sensory and endocrine functions. Like, well, the endocrine function would be the blood pressure thing. But there's like sensors inside the heart that goes like, time to go faster. Bah, 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 bah. You know? And then your arteries and your veins. You know, you see them in your hands when people be like, how fast is your heart pumping? When people put their fingers to the neck, be like, is he still breathing? Does he have a pulse? That is what you're touching, right? It's the blue looking things on your hands. Those are actually your veins, by the way. And they carry both oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. What that means is, does your blood have oxygen in it, or does it not have oxygen in it? Yeah.
This brings me back to my app bio class when I had to transcribe the whole textbook upside down face.
Oh my god. I'm your high school teacher. Okay. Yeah. So there's arteries and veins that go all around your body. They're literally everywhere. And like, depending on what you're doing, your blood may be restricted to areas. Like, say you're like eating, right? Blood is going to be catered more towards your digestive system. Or if you're exercising, your blood's gonna shut off, its flow to the tummy because your muscles need it, your lungs need it, and you're sweating a ton, right? So that's what the arteries do. It's got like, the sensor stuff in it that be like, nah, I don't need you right now. Blood, you need to go somewhere else. That's what it does. That's what your arteries and your veins do. They take your blood to certain places. Yeah. And then the blood itself is that fluid. You know, when you cut your finger, you got the blood. It goes like, ooh, it's red. You know, that thing. Yeah. And what else do you need to know? Well, besides it linking different organs to each other, it actually carries like materials inside it, like hemoglobin and like carbon dioxide, the oxygen, the things that help you breathe. Yeah, it carries that. Yeah, it carries like hormones and shit that kind of tell the rest of your body like, I need this right now. Can you give it to me? Thank you. It's like that. Yeah. Very simple thing. 3 things. It's not that hard to remember. Heart, artery, veins, blood. Not difficult. Trust me, not difficult. Those are like the 3 things we're gonna talk about today. Okay, just 3. Literally just 3. It's not gonna be too intense, I promise. Okay. Next. Now I drew this within like it took me 3 hours to draw this, goddamn. I drew this from memory, okay? Yeah. Metabolism related to cardiovascular in some way, yes. Yeah, exactly. There's different like physiological states you can have, right? Like if you're freezing, what happens if you're exercising? Your blood, where did it go? Things like that, Different physiological states determine like a lot about what your cardiovascular system's gonna do. And just to keep it straightforward, cardiovascular system is not the same as cardiorespiratory system. So cardiovascular system is like your heart plus all the arteries and veins, right? How it, delivers blood. Cardiorespiratory system is in relationship to your lungs and your heart. Like cardio means heart, respiratory is like breathing, right? So that's lung. But cardiovascular, like vascular stuff, is your vessels, blood vessels. Don't confuse the 2. I used to confuse the 2 a ton. Don't be like me. Beautiful drawing, thank you. Yeah, this is honestly like the most, maybe the second most intricate thing I drew in the entire note that I have for you today. Yeah, so I might spend some time talking about this because it's intense. So. How do I begin? Alright, let's just talk about the stuff on the right side, I think. So the pulmonary circulation is, well, I should say there's 3 different types of areas for circulation within the cardiovascular system. Yeah, so the first one is pretty straightforward. It's the pulmonary circulation. And pulmonary circulation is like your lung circulation. Yeah, lung circulation. So in the highlighted thing, you see how one of it's blue, one of it's red. So the blue is deoxygenated blood, meaning that there is no oxygen carried in that area. The red is there is oxygen in that area. Now you'll see what I mean when I explain. Okay, trust. So pulmonary circulation is from the right ventricle to the left atrium, and that means that it starts from all the way over here. It's really small. It's a really small area. Okay, it's literally like right here. That's where it starts. Okay, very easy place to start. Right atrium, and you see how it's blue, which means there's no oxygen in it, and then it goes from the right atria. It goes down into the right ventricle of the heart, which is, by the way, I don't know if you can tell, but this is the heart. It's the heart. Okay. No oxygen on the... Yeah, no oxygen that has been attached to the hemoglobin. It did not pick it up yet. It didn't pick it up yet. Okay? Okay? Did you know how well... Yeah, thank you. Okay? So... The heart... the deoxygenated blood starts here. And then it goes through a little valve here. There's a little valve. And then it goes through it into the right ventricle. And then from the right ventricle, it goes up this way, which is the pulmonary trunk. And then from there, it splits off into pulmonary arteries, which are tiny little, basically the blood vessels. And it goes into the lungs. And you know the lungs is how you breathe. It goes like, yeah, that thing. So at the lungs, there is a wonderful phenomenon, wonderful thing that we call gas exchange that happens at the lungs. And it's how you stay alive. Gas exchange is always gonna occur at the alveoli. Yeah, alveoli is like the little place in the lungs, the very small area in... Actually, not small. There's a lot of area actually. It's the very small micromillimeter of space where oxygen travels through between your lungs and the capillaries. Yes, gas exchange. Wonderful place. Wonderful thing that happens in the body. Yeah, so deoxygenated blood goes towards the lungs. And then at the lungs, the oxygen that's in it goes into the blood. And then that's how it becomes oxygenated blood. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Yeah. Lungs give oxygen to blood. Yeah. Lung give oxygen to blood. Okay, I'm trying to keep this really basic. I'm trying not to use fancy words, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, but anyway, from there, the oxygenated blood that has been exchanged, right? You know, that the O2, the oxygen that has gone into the capillaries and into the blood that has made it oxygenated blood. It's now red blood. It's the red stuff right here. Yeah. It exits the lungs through something called the pulmonary veins. And then it enters back into the heart at the left atrium. Okay? That's where it ends. That's pulmonary circulation right there. Okay? That's it. It's very small, very short. It only occurs within like this area. It is very small in comparison to the rest. Yeah. What does transport the oxygen in the blood again? Yes, you are right, Falk. Yes. It triggers a lot of fresh oxygen, right? Yes. Once oxygen goes onto hemoglobin in the red blood cell, it becomes a lighter color. Yeah. Okay. Does not also be... Pretty sure it's part of another system. That's immunology. Okay. Anyway. Coronary circulation is actually not part of this exactly. Coronary circulation is actually the heart's own little system. So on top of the heart, there's actually some capillaries and arteries and veins that give supply to the heart's muscle. Because it is a pump. It's a pump and a muscle on its own. And muscles need blood to function. So the heart supplies its own blood. to itself. Yes. Okay. That's it. That's all you need to know. But yeah, it's within the heart itself. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, okay. Why did it change color come reaction? No, not exactly. It's just the color of when oxygen binds to hemoglobin. Because it used to have carbon dioxide. Instead it has oxygen now, and I think that's what changes its color, to be honest. Yeah, yeah. Yo, this is why I don't want to be a vet. It's hard enough learning the human system. Okay, systemic circulation. Now this is the big picture. This is the big picture. So the left ventricle to the right atrium. Alright, alright. Left ventricle is here. Is this place. It's the biggest part of the heart. It's kind of what... It's like a really big muscle. If you know, like, athletes, they have a really big ventricle. Big left ventricle. It's huge, I'ma tell you. It's a big motherfucker. It is large. And the reason is... Your heart... This particular thing, this left ventricle, it has to pump your blood to the entire body. Like imagine this if you had like the tiniest little heart pumping blood to like throughout a 6-foot person, it just wouldn't work. Alright? You need big ass muscle to pump all the blood you can into the entire body. It's also the place that holds the most blood because it's supplying your entire body. You know, it's huge. It is a huge motherfucker. Yeah. Okay. So, cardiovascular immune system. Yo, the immune system is so much harder than the heart. I can tell you that now. It's so much chemical reaction type thing, and I'll teach you that next time, if anything. But okay. Yeah, the left ventricle pumps a shit ton of blood, and you know what? People who are sick, who have like, I think it's tachycardia. Like, sometimes having a big heart isn't the best thing, okay? But yeah, for athletes and stuff, they really need a big heart so they can pump the blood throughout the entire body. Yeah. Okay? So from the left atrium, it has another valve here. I'll talk about it in a bit. This is just the flow. I'm not gonna worry too much about anatomy right now, okay? But flow. You need to know where it goes and how it goes places. Okay. Yeah. So left atrium. The oxygenated blood, remember, it comes from the lungs down into the left atrium. And then from the left ventricle, it goes up and out of something called the aorta. A-O-R-T-A. Yeah, aorta. It is a very important artery. It's a very big one. Yeah. It basically sends blood away from the heart and into the rest of the body. It is a very important... So important, man. Aorta is thick. It is thick. It is very thick. Oh, hi, Mom Plaka. Hi. Welcome to the stream. I hope you learned something today. To catch you up, I'm talking about the flow of blood around the body. Yeah. Okay. So, from the aorta, there's actually 3 ways. 3 little, what do you call it? I think it's 4, actually. Is it 3? 3 or 4? No, I think it's 3. Ways that it goes to places. So it goes from the aorta, it splits off into 3. There's ascending arteries. 3 ascending arteries, I think. It splits off into the head and the arms. And then there's an abdominal aorta, which goes down your body to like your stomach and, you know, your chest, your stomach, your legs, you know, your feet. Your feet has blood too. Yeah. The descending aorta. Yeah. So if we start from the head, it basically goes to your brain and it goes out, and then from your arms it goes out, and they all connect to the superior vena cava, which is a very fat ass vein. It is a big ass vein where everything from your upper body basically connects the deoxygenated blood. So if we just look here, this kind of happens everywhere, so it'd be easy to figure out. From an artery, from the aorta, carrying oxygenated blood, it goes to your head, for example. And that's where the oxygen perfuses, does more gas exchange, be like, here, take the oxygen, head. And then the carbon dioxide goes into the blood and It is now deoxygenated blood, which is why it is blue. It is no longer red. Yeah. So like anything that says the word capillaries, it's all the purple stuff like this. That's where the gas exchange happens, and your body goes like, take O2, give away CO2. Yeah. That's the basics of gas exchange. I don't want to talk about partial pressures. That's gonna be too much. So okay. So that basically happens that the head, arms, and will connect at the superior vena cava. Yeah. Okay? And then it goes back into the right atria. But that's the top part of the body. At the lower part of the body, it happens at the trunk, which is like, like I said, your chest, your stomach, like the digestive tract. Yeah. And some organs, kidneys, liver, spleen, all of that. And even down to your little toes. Because your toes need blood circulation too. Otherwise, how else would you walk? Yeah. And then it leaves. Now, the funny thing for me that I think is kind of cool actually is the way that arteries work are actually really different to how veins work. So arteries, they're all covered in this little layer of muscle that keeps it going like bloom. Yeah, so if this is like an artery, there's like a muscle layer outside of it that kind of makes it go like whoop, and it pushes the blood, right? But for veins, they are not surrounded by muscle. So instead, they actually have little valves inside them so that it like moves the blood upwards. Or yeah. So like imagine this is like the blood's filling up, trying to fill up to go upwards, right? It's kind of like physics. Think of it like physics. So if the valve is shut like this, right? You open this valve, the blood fills inside, and then it closes, and then this one on top opens, and then the blood can flow out. That's how your veins work, basically. Yeah, that's how you get blood that's been used from your feet to your heart. From the down to the up. Yes. How does it know when to open? Pressure. Flow. So if you like... How do I explain this? If you look at your veins now, you'll see some like bulbous parts. That's typically where the valves are. Yeah. Vein is not to blood. Yeah, it has its own system. Pressure must be powerful. Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously not to the point where it's uncomfortable, but like, it's good enough pressure. This whole entire system basically is a lot of pressure, partial pressures. And I don't want to get too much into the pressure thing because I'm afraid it's going to confuse everybody. But for those of you who really want to know, pretty sure, was it 40 millimeters of mercury to 46 millimeters of mercury? So I think it was like over here at the beginning, the partial pressure of oxygen, I think it's like 46 millimeters of mercury. And then over, once it goes to the head here, for example, or like some part of your body, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is lower. It's around 40. Which is why oxygen gets to push its way into the thing, into the target organ. Okay? And the carbon dioxide gets pushed out or something like that. Actually, no, I think it's the opposite. Never mind, I take it back. I think. No. Yeah. And then it like travels, it like, once it comes back out on this side, the partial pressure of oxygen is higher than the partial pressure of whatever oxygen is at this point. I don't remember what it is. Yeah, it's all about pressures and stuff. Otherwise, gas exchange wouldn't occur. Yeah, but I don't want to confuse people like that. It's only for some of you if you really are into it. Yeah. Interesting related question. If someone's blood pressure is too high, does their body struggle to pull off oxygen from the blood? No. Not typically, I wouldn't say. Because if your blood pressure is high, your body is trying to pull in more oxygen. Like say you're exercising, you have high blood pressure. It's basically pushing more oxygen to an area, and having that high blood pressure allows more oxygen to go to areas you need it, like your muscles, for example. But if you're talking about like a sickness, like say you've had high blood pressure because your heart is weak. No. No, you are like unfit as fuck. Let's say you do not exercise at all. Your heart is trying to compensate. It's like, I need more blood to go to body. You know? You're not doing anything. And your body is like shutting down. Well, you can't let that happen. So the heart's just like, nah, we're gonna keep you going. And that's when I think, you know, having high blood pressure is honestly not the best thing. Yeah. You feel cold? Nah. But like, you know, it's, how do I explain this? Like, say somebody is really fat. They have a lot of tissue, right? That kind of makes it more difficult. The space for gas exchange decreases. So if this is like a cell, and then like this is your cells. I don't know, a cell. And then this is, I don't know, like yeah, I'm gonna make this easier to understand. This is a capillary. Okay? And then this one will make it your lung. I think this is a better way to explain it. So if you're a really, really fat person, you're gonna have a higher blood pressure because it's struggling to have gas exchange here. Because this is like one cell. This is one little blood cell. That's typically the distance it needs to transfer oxygen between, you know, your capillary where there's blood flowing and your lung where there's oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? So if you're a fatter person, you're gonna have more distance to cover. And that automatically makes it harder to have gas exchange occur. And then that means you have a harder time with getting oxygen throughout your system. Yeah. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. But like high blood pressure can be an indication of a lot of things. So it's hard to say. Yeah, yeah. You get tired? He's like, yeah, it would get tired. But honestly, like, you know how people say you need to kind of stress your heart out sometimes by doing cardio exercises? It's because the muscle of the heart is it's like a not any old muscle, right? Like you need to work it out. Otherwise, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. Yeah. When you get out of breath from working out? Oh, okay. So I get what you mean. So high blood pressure in that case is a good thing, right? And when you have like, okay, you're pumping blood to a certain area of your body, right? There's only so much oxygen it can take. And like, I feel like there's a point where you plateau and there's only so much you can do for gas exchange. Yeah, which kind of sucks. But yeah. You get out of breath mostly because like your body can't keep up with gas exchange. Yeah. Like your body's not exchanging out the CO2 fast enough. So like you take in the oxygen, like you're breathing, and then it goes to your muscles. But carbon dioxide, like converting oxygen and then having it become carbon dioxide takes some time. Some people are better at it than others. It's kind of it's like metabolism, right? Some people have higher or lower metabolism. And your body just cannot deliver CO2 fast enough sometimes. Like say you're unfit, your body's not used to doing the whole gas exchange thing, which makes it harder to breathe because you're not able to efficiently exchange your oxygen and carbon dioxide. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Da 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 da. Ha da 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 da. Oof. This one. Can hardly exchange pure oxygen? I think so. I'd like to say yes, but I honestly think the answer is no. What about asthma? That's a lung issue. Trust me, that's a lung issue. Yes, that is what lactic acid does. But lactic acid is good for you. Yeah. Anatomy time. Anatomy time. I drew this, by the way, and you'll know that because if I try to erase it, you'll see all the parts that I had to color in. So, you'll know I was the one who drew this. Okay, hold on, let me drink some water. Yeah. Thank you, Starlight.
Hydration check and stretch.
This is Tita from Discord. Yeah. Thank you, right? You're welcome. Is it possible to reverse high blood pressure? Well, you can lower it, yeah. You can, for sure. There's, like, certain medications for that. There's, like... You know, if you work out more, actually, your blood pressure goes down. My resting blood pressure is 90-something over 60 on average. But for most people, it's 120 over 80. That's like a whole systolic and diastolic blood pressure. If you want me to talk about blood pressure for an entire stream, I totally could. Like, I feel like it would take forever. Yeah. I feel like most of you guys all know about blood pressure. It's one of the most common topics that I feel like people kind of understand, but not really. Oh, how do I say your name? Rith? I'm gonna call you Rith. Welcome to the membership. My heart at rest is around 6 years. Good. Yes. Let's find out what that's way to make a first pop. I thought for the next cardio lesson we could talk about your heart and oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange at like different altitudes, because that's really interesting to me. Like if you're climbing a mountain versus like being underwater.
To the membership.
There it is. Or like hypoxia, hyperoxemia, yeah, that kind of thing. I actually really liked studying that in school. Or like actually talk about that pressures. Bohr's law. Oh yeah, more acidic, high pH, and then yeah, you know, high body temperature. I love studying Bohr's law. That was my shit. Okay, I'm calling you Rith. Makes you want to become a cardiologist. That's what all medical dramas do to me. Is 90 low, will it cause dizziness? You mean for a heart rate? For heart rate, that's kind of high, bruh. Are you exercising a little or? Will it cause dizziness though? Not shouldn't. It shouldn't. Shouldn't cause dizziness. Their course syllabus? No. At the moment, no. Okay. Yeah, it is interesting, right? But that's another time. Okay. Anatomy. Okay, I need to orient myself a little bit here. How should I go about this? Okay. You know what? I have an idea. Let's talk about the picture first. Because this is important. If you don't know the picture, if you don't know what you're looking at, then whatever is written on the right side, you will not understand. The upper one? Oh, you mean my numbers? I have 90 over 60. No, it doesn't cause dizziness. It's a bit low because I work out a lot. So, my heart just beats slower because it effectively and efficiently pumps blood throughout my body. So it doesn't need to be as high. Like my blood pressure doesn't have to be very high. But no, I'm fine. I'm not passing out. I think I'm okay. Literally built differently. I do be. Who knows? Maybe after I traded my boobas for immortality, my organs changed a little. Who knows? Anyway. I am going to try and explain the anatomy of a heart to you. And I know this looks very complicated, but I hope whatever I say makes sense, okay? And if you can't see what is on the board, I did pin the PDF file for you guys. So you can follow along through there and zoom in or mark it up as much as you want. You know. Yeah. Okay? Okay. Now, where do I even begin? I don't want to talk about the outside of the heart because that's a lot. I mean, there's pericardium and like membrane sac thing that lubricates the thing, and then like so when it pumps, it doesn't create friction. And I think let's split it between left and right. Yeah, that's the best way. I think that's the best way to explain this. Okay, so split the heart in two. Split the heart in two. That's the easiest way to do this, I think. Let me use a... Should I use black? Now you can barely see that. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you guys know the flow of the heart now. It deoxygenated blood comes from the superior and inferior vena cava into the right atria. The right atria to the right ventricle and then out into the pulmonary vein toward the lung. Right, that's the deoxygenated part. That's what we're gonna focus on right now. Okay. Okay, so your blood comes through here. Oh crap, it's a razor. It comes through here. No wait, one thing. Here and here. That's where it goes. And then it kind of enters like here and here. There's like two areas that it comes from. And in the atria, that's what it starts filling. It goes like bloop bloop bloop. And then you see this thing? I don't know if you can see if I use this color actually. This thing. You see this thing right there? This purple thing and then this red thing. Now those two things are very important. Okay? Very, very important. It is one of the most important things in your heart, in my opinion. Because have you guys... Okay, let me put it this way. Have you guys ever heard of a heart murmur? You guys ever heard of a heart murmur? You know, people be like, yeah, I have a heart murmur. You know what that is? Yeah, that's caused by this shit. That's caused by this shit right here. So, to put it simply, a heart murmur is when there's like a... You ever see doctors with like the stethoscope and they put it to your heart? What they're listening for is like two bump sounds, like bum bum, bum bum, bum bum, bum bum. That thing? You know, that thing? Like that's what they're listening. You ever hear it? You ever hear it? The bum bum sound? Or like, if you ever seen it on TV, you hear the bum bum, bum bum. It's like a heartbeat. Basically, you're hearing for someone's heartbeat, right? So what causes the heartbeat sound is not the sound of the heart contracting itself. It's actually the sound of this thing. And then this thing. Well, technically it's also on the... behind this over here somewhere. But, like I'm just saying, that is what it is. There's two really important valves in your heart that prevent the backflow of blood. So like, say the blood from the atria goes down into the ventricle this way, right? Well, it needs to leave. It needs to go out of the heart somehow, right? But if this is open, if this little area here is open, and the heart contracts, your blood is gonna go back out the way it came. And that's a no-no. So what happens is this thing right here. That is called the papillary muscle. And this blue thing, purpley thing, I mean here, it's called chordae tendinate. So, hold on, I have a... This is papillary muscle. I can't finish the word muscle, it's too long. Okay, that's one. And then this over here, the purpley thingy. Where do I write this? Boop. Chordae tendinate. I know, fancy Italian, Latin words. Okay. What the heart's made out of? It's like a little flap. Like a flappy thing. I can't really tell you what it's made of because I'm not sure either. I think it's a muscle? No. It's a valve. I actually don't know what it's made out of. Not for sure. I never actually remembered that part. Is it cardiomyocyte? So just heart cells? Literally heart muscle cell? Yeah, okay, so when your heart contracts, this papillary muscle also contracts. And that pulls on the valve here. That's called the tricuspid valve, by the way. It's called that because, you know, there's like a... What do you call it? Like a... There's three flappy thingies. And once the papillary muscle contracts, it pulls on the little strings called chordae tendinae, and it closes the valve shut. And I don't like... So that way when the heart contracts and the blood tries to go out, it goes out one way, not two ways. Now the thing is, people with heart murmurs don't have their valve close all the way shut. So some of the blood flows back into the right atria, and that's what causes the heart murmur. So when people hear like a solid bum bum, bum bum, well, the first bump is like this thing closing. It's the sound of it closing. Yeah. Because of the pressure and everything. That's what it is. Okay? I hope that makes sense. And then it leaves this way. Okay, wrong button. It leaves this way. Towards the pulmonary veins. But there's also a chance that there will be backflow. And so to prevent the backflow, something called the pulmonary semilunar valve will close. So when the heart contracts, this thing just opens. It kind of looks like... It just looks like this. It looks like this. Yeah, when it's closed, that's what it looks like. When the heart contracts, it'll open up. And like... So imagine it's like this. It looks like two boobs. Okay, imagine boobs. Like this. Okay? So... This is the heart. The blood flow is going this way. Okay? Okay? So this is what it looks like when the heart contracts. It is open. There's like... It's like saggy boobs. Alright? There's nothing blocking the blood. The saggy boobs let the blood go towards the lungs. Okay? But when the heart is like contracted, it finishes contracting and it's relaxing, there's a potential chance the blood might come back down. So what happens is the boobas come back and they shut. So that way it can't get through. Yeah. That's what this is. Okay? That's what happens. And this thing, that's the second bump. So it's like the bump, right? That's the second bump. Yeah. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Alright, cool. Does everyone understand that much? Is everyone following so far? Oh, hey, Georgie! Sorry, music. I shall take my seat now. Good. Take notes. Okay? You following? You following? Nice. Follow Andrew, yes? Okay, good. That's just the right side of the heart. Okay? Now, the left side has a similar function. Where it does the same thing. Like, the left atrium will fill up, and then it'll contract, and then it'll go into the left ventricle, and then when the left ventricle contracts, the papillary muscles also contract, and then the chordae tendineae goes stiff, closes the valve. It's called the bicuspid valve. That way, when the blood from the left ventricle goes into the aorta, it doesn't have backflow into the left atrium. Blah, blah, blah. And then same thing happens with the aorta. It also has its own... It's an aortic semilunar valve. And it will close the same way the pulmonary semilunar valve did, where it's like a little booba. Yeah, it's like a little booba. Okay? I hope that was enough. I hope that made sense. Hold on, let me... Messy. Hold on. There. Yeah, I labeled everything on this side, so I was like, okay. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. So between the atria and the ventricles, the left and the right side, there is a valve called the either tricuspid or bicuspid valve. And the reason why is like the left side has a 2-cup booba, the right side has a 3-cup booba. Okay? You only done the right atrium geography? Yeah, basically. Because I thought it'd be easier to understand. Plus, it's just the way the heart is. It's like the right atrium is a little bit more farther. It looks more like it's easier to see from this side. Yeah. And then the semilunar valves, pulmonary and aortic. And I think it's kind of what do you call it? Self-explanatory with the name. Pulmonary means lung, and aortic is like, you know, the aortic artery that takes blood from the left ventricle to the entire body. Kind of makes sense. It kind of tells you where it is just in the name. Aw, Mopeka! That's okay! That's okay. Have fun with Cozy. Okay. Are we delving into pathology? I was saving that for next stream, but if you have a question, I can try and answer it. So yeah. That's basically the flow of the heart. At least in terms of like physical muscly thingies that operate within the heart. It gets more intense, by the way. I'm adding more to this. Follow the heart section. Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. You can watch the VOD. It's not too difficult. I promise. It's fairly straightforward in my opinion. I can say it all in one. Deoxygenated blood goes in the right atrium. Right atrium contracts, and then blood flows between the tricuspid valve into the ventricles of the right ventricle. The right ventricle contracts. Chordae tendineae tighten because of the papillary muscle. The valve closes, and then it goes through this pulmonary simulator valve into the pulmonary veins towards the lungs. At the lungs, there's gas exchange. It leaves from the lungs as oxygenated blood towards the heart into the left pulmonary veins. Into the left atrium. In the left atrium, the heart contracts, and then the bicuspid valve opens. It goes whoosh into the left ventricle. Left ventricle contracts. Papillary muscles contract. Chordae tendineae tightens. Bicuspid valve closes. And then heart flows out of the aortic simulator valve into the aorta. And aortic simulator valve closes. That way there's no backflow. And then blood goes to body. And then from there, oxygenated blood goes through the entire body. Back into the inferior and superior vena cava as deoxygenated blood back to the heart. Ta-da! Did that sum it up? That's all that it is. I promise. You can learn everything within like 5 minutes. Ta-da! Voila. Ne? And I actually followed it up. Nice! It's actually not that complicated, I swear. It's one-way flow. It can only go one way. If it goes backwards, then something is wrong. Well, I got it smart already. Nice. Nice. But yeah, now you know how the ba-bump sounds come from, like where they come from, how your heart doesn't have backflow. Not a lot of people know that part about like the chordae tendineae and the papillary muscles making the valves close. Yeah, not many people know that part. Yeah. Pointer stick? Well, I have a pen. I have a pen. You want me to... Hold on, let's see. What's this button do? I don't know what... Laser... Ooh. What's this? Ooh! Yo, that's cool! Hold on. Yo, that's cool. Okay, maybe I can use this. What bad things would happen if backflow? Well, number one would be the heart murmur. It just means that your... Like, the valve here isn't closing properly. Right? It means it's not closing properly. And then... So, the bad side to that is your body isn't going to get as much blood as it's supposed to get. Like, there's always going to be a little bit of deoxygenated blood that gets left behind before it can get oxygenated. I'm also only talking from the perspective of the right side for now, because it's honestly mostly of what you see. But say it's like you have a problem with the valve on the like this side. Let's say it's the tricuspid valve. Then your lungs won't get as much deoxygenated blood to do the gas exchange and get oxygen from. Meaning that in total, your body's going to have kind of a bit less oxygen than it's supposed to have. But let's say it's like there's a... What do you call it? There's a... Your valve over here has a problem. It means your entire body is going to be deprived of, like, oxygenated blood. You know? Compared to here, where it's just your lungs that's gonna have the issue, it will affect, like, this side eventually. Because your body is a one-connected system, right? So eventually, having a problem here will affect the rest of you entirely. But yeah, it's not a great thing to have a heart murmur. I mean, people can live with heart murmurs, like with the backflow, but it's just not good. It's not a good thing. Michael used to blood clumping. Yeah, it can. In some way or form, yeah, it can. That can happen. But let me think. What else is a bad thing with backflow? Oh, stroke. Increased chances of stroke, heart attack type things in the future. Yeah. Because that means, like, your valve already at this... Like, say you have a heart murmur at the age of 20. By the time you get, like, really old, like you're 80 or something, you're probably at a greater risk for heart problems, like more heart problems. Yeah, but that's basically it. That's basically it. Everything I have just told you is actually all here. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, that's heart anatomy. Any questions so far? Let me drink water. Oh god, that's a lot of talking. Mm. Ooh, I needed that. Nom nom nom. Some years dampen is a more common to see patients with blockages on the inflow or outflow from the heart always were in the. Oh, so stents are like, they don't typically occur within this area. They more or less occur like on the outside of the heart, I'd say, like coronary circulation. So the heart itself has its own circulation, coronary circulation. So it's not so much the stent needs to be put like here or something, or like here, you know, like it's not so much those areas. It's typically like the really small arteries that give the heart muscle itself blood supply. It's like, how do I put this? So say there's a blood clot in a coronary artery. It's like what's a good example of like a, I'm trying to think of an example of like a coronary artery. I don't know, but there's like a ton, so it's hard to say. Like it could, if you have a blood clot there, your myocardium, which is the heart muscles, they're not getting enough blood flow, which means that they also will have a hard time contracting. Yeah. Hold on. So okay, you know, I've actually heard of somebody who had to get a stent put in, like right here in the left pulmonary artery because it like weakened or something. So I guess a stent can go there. There's really like, it's hard to say. Might be entranced from the heart lacking blood. Yeah, it's the heart lacking blood flow for the stents, and they're usually really tiny. I know like the tiniest blood clot can cause the biggest problems. Yeah. Usually it's just the heart being deprived of its own blood supply because there's a blood clot there. It's not usually like... It's hard to have a blood clot in areas that are like in here somewhere. So yeah. How much iron in his blood is enough to make a nail? Maybe. Depends on what you're eating. The heart is I feel the heart. Wait, what? I don't think that's what it is, to be honest. I don't think that's what it... That's more of a psychological brain thing. Oh my god, we should do neuro one day. One day I'll teach you guys neuro. I love learning neuro too. I love learning about axon terminals and dendrites. Like, I love that shit. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, anatomy... Any more anatomy questions? If not, I'll move on. If not, I will move on. I need more water, oh god. Hi, Benny. Your heart surgeon? No. If I was, I wouldn't be a VTuber. Okay. You're good? Alright, cool. I don't think anyone's questions. Moving on! It gets more complicated. Okay, how long will this class be? 40 minutes. 40 minutes more. I hope. Okay. So, you know, like, how the heart itself pumps blood. Now you need to know how the heart knows to pump the blood. Because the heart doesn't just go at some random rhythm. No, that's how you count. Like, how many beats per minute? You know, there's a certain rhythm. And there's a certain order, right? How does the heart know the order and to go in to make sure blood gets circulated around the body, right? Like, it's not like your heart just goes like bum 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 all the time. Nah, it needs to regulate itself. Otherwise, you are going to have a heart attack. So, what actually happens is there are two very important nodes. They're like little bundles of nerves that just are in your heart. And they are in the atria somewhere. Like the... I think it's the left? No, right side? Yeah, the right side Yeah, this is the right side. Here, we'll start with number 1. So the SA node is this little dot. There's a little dot right here. It is tiny as heck. Okay? And the brain will send the signal to this little node and be like, hey, can you start the heart contraction, please? And then it'll be like, oh yeah, I got you. So then what we call the when I wrote on the bottom here, like it says depolarize, right? That just basically means the nerves are like, ooh, okay, it's time. yeah. It's like waking up, be like, ooh, time to send the signal for heart to go boom boom. And so it does that. It goes like, okay, it's time to go boom boom. And then it sends a signal from the SA nodes over here. It sends a signal down to something called the AV node. Well, I should say this first. SA node is a sinoatrial node. It's basically what it is. You don't really need to know the entire name. It's not that important. And AV node is atrioventricular node. It just basically means it's between the atria and the ventricle. So atrioventricular node. It just tells you where it is in the name. So yeah. That's how you know where it is. And so it goes from the oh wait, wrong button. It goes from here. Oh. It goes from here all the way down to here. Okay? Yeah. Alright. So the signal spreads to both atrias. Both atria? Left and right atriums. Atria? Atria is the plural of atrium. Atria. Yeah, it spread to the atria. Down. So that's when the atria is like, ooh. Atrial contraction time. You know, it goes like, ooh. And then the AV node, this thing, goes like, ooh, ventricle contraction. It is time. And it sends the signal down this way. Yeah. It's like, this is... Once the whole entire atria gets depolarized, then the signal goes to the AV node. Be like, it is time to go to the ventricle this way. So it does that. At some point. The thing is, it kind of slows down because of the AV node that has to take in the signal and then send it. You know, it does take... There's a little bit of a delay there. It's kind of like, let's give it time to fill. And then over here, there is something called the Purkinje fibers and the bundle of his. Yeah, it's all here. You'll see later. But yeah, it depolarizes. Depolarizing basically sending the signal down towards the septum. This is the septum of the heart. It's kind of the thing that divides the left and the right side of your heart. It goes down this thing called the bundle of his, and you'll see later what it is, I promise. And then it goes up this way through the Purkinje fibers to be like, okay, ventricles, contract, assemble. Yeah, that's what happens there. Okay, yeah, it just basically like goes from top to middle and then up. Yeah, okay. I hope that was enough. Can you explain what an aortic dissection is? No, because I'm not a cardiac surgeon. I'm not a cardiac surgeon. Yeah, I know atria is plural. I just don't really know how to be like both atrium, both atria. Both make sense to me. Isn't that puzzle actually anything that's tracked and needs to be being done? Yes! Yes, it is! Yes, it is. So like, if you put it all together, that's what this is. That's what this is. Yeah. So like, that's why I broke it down from the muscle part, then the electrical part. Because if you look at an ECG, it's basically all there. Everything I told you is all here. Just like, it is here. So the SA node, when it goes like, depolarize, it is time. That's what this little wave here is. This red part. Atrial depolarization. That's what it is. it's when the SA node goes like boom, it is time, and then the signal spreads to the atria, and then this little flat line here is the time that it took for the atria to go like boom and squish, send blood into the ventricle. Okay? And then this big this big boom here, the very important boom, it's called the QRS wave. That's when it signals your ventricles to contract. So basically like the SA node sending the signal down, the Purkinje fibers, and the bundle of his, both of those. That's what it is. So from Q, that's the bundle of his. It's the septum. It's the septum. The thing that separates the right and the left side of the heart. The ventricles of the left and right side of the heart, basically. Yeah. So the signal gets sent down that way. And then as it travels to the rest of the heart, the Purkinje fiber thingy, the Purkinje fiber is like the sides of the ventricles, you should say. And that's how it goes like, ventricular contraction time. And it takes more time for it to contract because it is a bigger volume of blood, I guess you could say. Like it needs more power, more time to be like boom, and then exit the heart. Yeah, it needs more time. Yeah. So ventricular repolarization is when like the depolarization, like the signal is like leaving. Yeah, the signal's leaving. And then ventricles contract. After the ventricles get the signal leaves, and the ventricles decide to follow the signal with the boom of squish. Yeah. And then this thing is, well, basically like the end of it all. Where the heart goes back to no signal, back to rest kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what the ACG is. If you all really wanted to know, like, this is what it is. When you see the heart, you'll know that, oh yeah, this is the bump. No, I'll do more. If you guys actually like the stream, I'll do more. I'll ask you guys how you feel about it at the end. Yeah, there's like, it just, this is what it is. I like to look at the flat parts a lot, like this part and this part, because that's like how I can orient myself. It's like, this is the top part of the heart contracting, and it's a lot smaller because the atria are smaller. The ventricles are much bigger, so they take a longer time to contract. That's how I like to see it. And this thing can tell you a lot of stuff. They can tell you so many things. So let's say your heart, how do I put this? What can I put in this example? Oh, I know. So if you don't have the P wave, this thing, imagine if it was like flat. If this was flat, that means your heart isn't getting the signal from the SA node. So it's not like, so your atria isn't contracting at the correct timing. Yeah, like I've seen things that look like, okay, imagine, okay, I'm gonna do this. I've seen something like this before. Or like the P wave, like this, the beginning wave, it looks like that. It does go down, it goes like this. It goes like this. And then suddenly it's like this. And then a really long thing. And then like another one. And then it goes like this again. Like I've seen some really weird looking stuff. And sometimes like I've seen ones that go like this. Right? You see the fancy ones? That just means that the electrical signals going to your heart ain't going at the right time. Yeah. That's what it is. There's a lot of like what do you call it? A lot of pathological things you can determine just from this ECG alone. And it's kind of scary when you think about it. Yeah. I'm reading chat. Atrial fibrillation. Yeah! Try not to use fancy words, but yes, that is what it is. These are pure signals, right? Like it wouldn't show physical, like backflow understanding. Yes, it's purely physical. Like purely electrical signals. Oh my god, I can't speak. Oh hey Ezra, hi. Thank you for the raid. Is it like a heart wave thingy? Yes. Hey Ezra, I hope you had a nice stream. Thank you for raid. Hello. Hello. I'm Big Brandon. Next lesson about immunology or neurophysiology? Hey, yeah, sure. That's what I wanted to do, actually. You did raid. You did raid. You did not raid a VOD. You did not raid a VOD. Hey, Ezra. Hi. Yeah. Ventricular fibrillation is this thing that looks bad. Yeah, by the way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like, if you compare it to the top, SA node depolarization, number 1 is like here. And then electrical activity goes to the AV node. That's like here. Somewhere here. Yeah, between this area. And then depolarization yeah, that's this thing. That's still this thing. Depolarization goes to the ventricles, number 4. This one is like here. QRS wave. It's a very important wave. And then ST is number 5. This one. This one. That. And the last one here. Those are the same. That's what it is. Ventricular repolarization and contraction of the ventricle. And then the last wave here, repolarization, is something that so many people get confused about, and I still kind of get confused about it too because I don't really look at it. But it's basically the heart, like not having that electrical signal anymore. The electrical signal leaves because the heart has finished contracting, and the heart like no longer has the what do you call it? The signal in it. I don't know how else to explain this in like the most basic way. I'm gonna use fancy terms otherwise, and I'm trying to avoid it. Yeah, it relaxes. It's the relaxing part. It's like when the ventricles are like filling and, you know, it's going back into the rest phase to reset for the next signal to come. Late ventricular punch basically rest before the next. Yes, motherfucker, thank you. Yes, yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, but because like the signal was it's very strong signal. It's a very strong signal. It does it the up and the down thing kind of relates to how positive and negative the charges are. So like depolarization is, you know, when it goes up to the positive thingy, and then oh, hi mom. Oh, thank you. Hi. After this. Where was I again? Frick. Yeah, it was my mom. She's asking me when I'm gonna brush my dog's teeth. Yeah. And then she also gave me a new toothbrush. Of all things. Yeah. Ooh, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, T-wave. Okay, what's it? T-wave. Yeah, T-wave is just like positive charge comeback. Yeah. Like back to resting state. It's really hard to explain without fancy words. But okay. I think that's self-explanatory. And if you know what, there's so many pathological things you can actually tell when it comes to this. You know when people need pacemakers? You know about pacemakers? Yeah, that's when people need like when their SA node, their AV node isn't really working no more. So they need a pacemaker to make it work for them. That way this whole thing, this thing and this thing can work properly. Yeah. That is a long question. Hold on, let me read this properly. Is AFib the brain sending wrong timing signal or the heart muscles interpreting the signals wrong? AFib is, well, it can be two things really. The AFib thing is the signal being sent at wrong timing plus the heart contracting at wrong timing. It's the typically I'd say it's the SA node or I think it's the SA node that's like sending signals at the wrong timing. That's why the muscles are contracting at the wrong timing. The heart's just a muscle. It listens to whatever signal it gives it. If it's being told to contract, it will contract. So it's the signals. Yeah, the SA node is like encoding signals the wrong way. Or the wrong timing kind of thing. Yeah, it's not typically the brain's problem, it's the SA node itself. It has its own way of sending signals. Yeah, yeah. You'll see. I have more. Okay, man, do I really want to go through this? This might get a little complicated if I go further. You guys should I go further? Should I go further? It can get pretty complicated. If you do so, it's like watching the pulse of a normal yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what the ECG tells you. Because you know how like repeats? This entire thing just repeats over and over and over again? Yeah. So like when you see a flatline, and then someone doing CPR and like they're like, oh, we got him back, and you see like the lines go up and down again, it just means that signals are being sent to the heart again. And your heart can keep pumping. Yeah. So even though like your muscle is alive, the signal was dead. You gotta bring back the signal. You're jump starting it. Yeah. And the posture, if it bits the laser, burn some of the muscle hair. Yeah. Okay, Botan. Alright. Man, okay. I'm going to tell you this now. Muscles of your heart are just the cells of your heart are different from like your like skeletal muscle, like your what do you call it? Like your arm, your deltoids, your gastrocs, your gluteus maximus. Different type of muscle compared to your heart. So like skeletal muscle is one thing. You also have something called a cardiomyocyte, which means heart muscle. Myocyte is basically heart cell. Heart muscle cell thing. Yeah, cardio is the heart, myocyte muscle cell. Yeah, cyte is like another word for cell. Like, how do you spell this again? Cardio. Hold on. Myocyte. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Okay? It's an entirely different thing. And the way cardiomyocytes depolarize, like their signals and stuff, how they send signals and everything, versus how pacemaker cells send their signals, like your SA node, your AV node, they are different from each other. They're different from each other and different from your like skeletal cells and stuff. They don't send signals the same way as every other part of your body. So, like pacemaker cells, they how do I put this? They're like, we call them spontaneous. They send spontaneous action potentials, which means like they go at their own rate. They don't really follow your anything else. They have their own system of operating. You know, like they have their own brain basically. It's like, okay, if I wanna pump at this time, I'm gonna pump at this time. Yeah. But there's also non-pacemaker action potentials, which is like the whole thing. You know, here. Look at here. Oh hey Kawa. Join stream and misread the tried egg. You know what? If I'm gonna talk about egg complexes, I would talk about the entire sexual reproductive system of the female anatomy. Yes. Talk about them uterus and ovaries shit. Pacemaker detects existing cells and no. It sets the signal. It basically sends little jolts of electricity. Like here, hold on. No, I went too far. Here we go. So a pacemaker, like when you people get pacemaker implants, right? This here or this here, kind of depends on where you need the pacemaker. Sometimes people even need it like down here. It really depends on the heart, whatever is wrong with it. What it does is it sends little jolts of electricity to those areas that do not have the ability to generate or send the action potential signals, like depolarization signals, throughout the heart. It does it for you because you can't do it yourself. Did I draw all this? Yes, I did. I did. Starting from the top, I did. I drew this. Look, you can tell I drew it myself because if I do this, you'll see all the little brush strokes that I did if I erased it all. Yeah. So yes, I did draw all of this and this. You can see all my little brush strokes that it took for me to do. Yeah. I started this a long time ago, so it's on the 23rd of January. Yes. Yeah. Can you believe I drew this from memory? Like I was so in the zone. I was just okay, this goes here, this goes there. Yeah. Yeah, I drew this from memory. Constantly impressed. Thank you. Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, so the pacemaker is like the little electrical signal, and it goes like boom boom. And it'll send the signal for you. So like if you're at rest, it'll be like, okay, send 60 like for 60 BPM, beats per minute. Be like boom 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 every sec, like for each beat. Yeah, it'll basically set the pace for you. This fascination. Oh, thank you, Mopeka. Thank you. Oh right. If you want the PDF, it is pinned. I'm gonna do this for every educational stream I do. I will pin the PDF file for you. Yeah. Is it based on body for energy? Typically, it's based on the body for energy, but I'm pretty sure it depends on the pacemaker itself and what you need it for. Like, some people will get it checked. It's not really. I don't think it's run by a battery. It's run by the electrical signals that the brain sends. So, here. So, there's 2 pacemakers. Well, technically, there's actually 3. The atrium itself is also a pacemaker, but the main pacemakers is the SA node and the AV node, which is the sinoatrial node and the atrioventricular node, which is over here and over here. So it's at the top of the heart. Right? It spreads the signals down this way, like that. Right? So what happens is it really depends where you need the pacemaker. Like sometimes I'm pretty sure one of them is based off of brain activity. So like say you're working out. Your brain is like, okay, heart needs to pump faster, send more blood here, send more blood there. Stop sending blood to the digestive tract because we don't need to be digesting while we're running away from something, right? So, depending on that, the pacemaker will set stuff. Or, it's like preset? Yeah. They implant the battery and... Yeah. You know how like some people have, when they have like a heart implant or like a pacemaker, there's like a little thing, a little nobbin that sticks out of their chest? It's basically that. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about like the voltage thing, to be honest. I was never really taught that. I was just taught what it does. Okay. So the ECG thing, I hope this was self-explanatory after all that I told you. So the SA node goes ba-boom, and then the atria goes like, ooh, blood filling. Time to contract. Blum 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 blum. Through the valve, the tricuspid valve. Yeah, you remember the tricuspid valve? It's open because it's in a relaxed state, right? The pressure builds up in the right atrium, and it goes like boom, and then it goes into the right ventricle, right. Right ventricle fills up with blood to the point where there's enough pressure, and then the contraction happens. Tricuspid valve close. Papillary muscles go like, ooh, chordae tendineae, stretch. And then tricuspid valve close. Blood flow out into pulmonary vein. Yeah. Semilunar valve close, so there's no backflow. Into lung do gas exchange, get oxygen. And then pulmonary... Is it pulmonary vein or artery again? I think it's pulmonary artery. Yeah. Pulmonary artery into the left and right pulmonary arteries. Yeah. There's two. Go into left atria. Same process, left atria. Contract. And then through bicuspid valve closed because of ventricle contraction again. Right. And then ventricle... It's a bicuspid valve, right? Yeah, bicuspid valve closed because chordae tendineae and papillary muscles go like, you must close! And then blood go through aorta, through aortic semilunar valve. Aorta send oxygenated blood through body. And like, yeah. And then go back into height. Ta-da! It's over a long enough period of time. It's actually very quick. It's very, very quick. I mean, obviously, like, one heart pump doesn't send it throughout the entire body. Like your heart will pump once, and maybe that volume of blood. So let's say the volume of blood we're focusing on is like here. Okay? Your heart pumps once. This blood will get ejected and go to places, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that within one pump they are going to go directly to like the farthest area of your body. Like, it could just be getting pushed gradually there. It really depends. It really depends on what you're feeling for. But yeah. So if you feel like your heartbeat, you'll feel the blood being pushed out, right? But like you'll know when your blood is being pushed out. But it doesn't... In one pump, there's no way. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. It does take time. Also, some people get really confused because like it goes like this, right? So you usually start from the right atria and you follow the blood path like this. So people often think, oh yeah, the right side of the heart pumps first and then the left side pumps after, but that's actually not true. They pump at the same time. The right atria squishes at the same time as the left atrium. The left ventricle and the right ventricle also pump at the same time. So that's why when you see a heart pumping in real life, like, you'll see it flow this way because it's pumping blood out of the body. Yeah. Yeah. Let me read. Hold on. Maybe that bloody if you probably takes multiple pumps. It does take a little bit more time, yeah. It's faster because of gravity if you're standing, but if you're sitting, then it'll take a little bit more time, I think. Yeah, fall asleep because you're so far away from the heart. In a way, yeah. It's just like blood flow. You can cut off blood flow to it pretty easily. Yeah, okay. Because your legs don't really have any important organs besides your muscles, skeleton, and I guess your joints. But your torso has all the important shit. You know, all your other organs like your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, gallbladder, kidneys. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. For those of you who really want the chemistry, I do have it for you. I do have it. It's not that complicated, but it exists if you want me to teach it to you. Or we can stop here, because I know that was a lot. I don't have to tell you about action potentials. Because this is the flow of ions in and out of a cell, and 2 different types of cells. Like, it can be a lot. It can be a lot. I don't have to go through it if you don't want me to. I fell asleep because of it being pressed, not blood. Yes, that is true. It's not the, like... It's typically the nerves. I'm trying to read chat. Hold on. Have I ever dissected a heart at university? I didn't do the dissection. It was already pre-dissected for me. So I didn't have to. Yeah, I don't have to. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Freddy. Chemistry is good, but I'd be down for anything. Okay. It's like the sodium-potassium pump, but not exactly. I was talking more about from action potential perspective. Not so much the pump itself. And I was only going to teach one pump. It's not even the pump, it's just the sodium channels. Did you ever dissect human body for exam? I did it for a lot of labs. I worked with cadavers during my 1st and 2nd year. Yeah. Feel faster from lateral visceral incisions. I don't know that. I honestly don't know. Okay, you know what? I'll do it because it's part of the heart, and I don't really know when what other time I would talk about this. Okay. This is like a regular, typical action potential. It's not like a... It's not part of the heart. This is not the heart. I'm just saying this is like any other cell. Like your skeletal muscle, for example. Like your bicep. this applies to that. Read this thing first, and while I talk to chat. Really funny because when I was doing long distance training, I used electricity things working at night. Yeah. Sodium potassium pumps are very necessary, but so are calcium. There's a long type and calcium channels and leak channels and voltage gated channels. There's a lot of things that I could talk about. Oh god, but it would take way too long. I can't explain that all within one stream. There's no way. That's why I kept this very short. I didn't want to go too deep into it. But okay, so what an action potential is cell becomes more positive. That is it. That's all I'm gonna say. Mia pointing hand at win. I need one. I fucking need one. I swear to God. Sure. Whatever makes you feel happy. Okay. So you know how I said up here, depolarization is when the signal gets sent towards different parts of the body, right? Like SA node sends a signal by depolarizing, and the depolarization sends the signal to the AV node. AV node depolarizes to send information down towards the Purkinje fibers and the bundle of His. So, like, the bundle of His is this part, by the way, and Purkinje fibers is this part. I don't know if I explained that, but yes. The depolarization is basically this shit. Depolarization is this thing. So when one little pacemaker cell, like the SA node or the AV node, goes like, I need to send signal. It's time to contract heart or something. It's time to contract the muscle. That's this. That's this thing. Now there's stuff like all or none principles. I'm not gonna go into it. If those of you who know what it is, then you know what it is, but I'm not gonna talk about it. But in a typical muscle cell, the cell itself is at a resting state of -70 millivolts. Which is honestly not that much. It's tiny. Human body is hollow from muscles, organs, but there is something. Fat. There is fat. There is lymph nodes. There is blood vessels. There is connective tissue. There is water. There is other fluids. There's organ. Well, you said organs already. But yeah, there's stuff. There's stuff. Hey, teaching me. I really want. God damn it. Okay. But yeah. So say this isn't the heart. Like I said, this is not the heart. This is the like your skeletal muscle or something. Okay. And there's a reason why I'm going to explain this first before I explain the heart myocyte. Okay. So it's at resting state at -70. This is a cell, by the way. This is in relationship to a cell. Membrane potential, basically, like, you know how cells are like this with a little nucleus inside, and then there's like a bunch of cytoplasm and like vesicles and shit. Yeah, it's this part, just the outer circle part, okay, of the SA node cell. There's multiple cells that make up an SA node or an AV node, but I'm just talking about the one cell. Like I said, we're going from the most superficial thing to the most cellular level thing. Okay, that's what this is. That's what this is. So the cell is at -70 millivolts at rest, and the reason why is, well, the body is trying to maintain it. Yeah, like this. I think it's equilibrium with sodium or some shit like that. Yeah. Anyway, the signal gets sent, and a ton of sodium starts to go into the cell. And it passes this threshold of -55 millivolts. And the reason why there's a threshold is because of the all or none principle. So let's say sodium flows into this cell, but it only reaches negative like 59 millivolts. It's not gonna go all the way up then. It's just gonna stay down there. And the reason why it's sodium, it's a positive charge, by the way. It is a positive charge. So more positive charges into cell make number more positive. Yes. Yes, make cell more positive. Okay, so once enough sodium has gone into the cell to break past -55 millivolts, more sodium gets recruited through the sodium channels, which is why it reaches almost plus 30. Almost. Okay, almost. And potassium channels also open because that's another positive charge to make it go all the way up to plus 30. Okay? And then once it hits this plus 30 part, it's like, oh, okay, we're done. Signal has been sent. It is time to go back. And so what happens is the sodium channels go, nope, we're shutting down. And it gets blocked. And potassium starts to flow out of the cell. They look like this. That's the channel. And then it just opens and the potassium gets to flow in and out. Yeah. Sodium channels are a bit more complicated. You'll see later. But yeah, the potassium and the sodium start to leave. They're like, bye-bye. And that's why the charge goes back to negative. Simple. Simple, right? Just go up and down. Just go up and down. Okay? Is magnesium also a positive charge? I think so, yes. Okay? And so... The thing is, the potassium keeps on going out of the cell. It keeps leaving. It doesn't close. And it makes the cell membrane more negative, but it goes to a place called hyperpolarization, where it goes beneath negative 70 because potassium's equilibrium voltage is negative 90 millivolts. So it goes down towards negative 90 millivolts to make it equal to the outside. You know the whole thing where it's like you want to make things equilibrium between cells or some shit? Like water flow. Water wants to flow where it's salty so that it equalizes or some shit. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But with potassium being like, I need it to be more negative because like the outside is negative. So we're making the inside negative too. Yeah. It's like that. That's how osmosis works too, right? Yes, yes. It's similar to that, but with charges instead. They're trying to equalize the charges. But before potassium can hit negative 90, the channels close. So that it goes a little bit more negative, a bit more positive again. And potassium doesn't keep flowing in and out. It just stays at... It goes back to negative 70. And it at rest again. So that way... It can go like ba-boom again. Yeah, yeah. It can prepare for more potassium, for more sodium to go in and go like boom. Yeah. Okay? So every time I say this is depolarizing to send a signal, SA node's depolarizing to send a signal. All the cells within an AV or SA node or the HM or whatever is doing this. Is doing this. Or like something similar to this. This is like a... The numbers are different with an actual pacemaker cell. I'm pretty sure like pacemaker cells have a resting what's it called? Resting charge, millivolt charge of negative 60, and it goes up to negative 20, plus 20 instead for depolarization, I think. And I think the threshold for it is like negative 40 instead of 55. Yeah. And there's also like calcium that comes into play, but I'm not gonna talk about it. It's too complicated. We're sticking with sodium and potassium. Calcium is actually very important, but we're sticking with sodium and potassium today, alright? I'm not making this more complicated than it needs to be. But yeah. Okay, so that's like the typical cell, like your muscle cells in your arms or your legs. Okay? How do these SA cells synchronize? Like, would it be bad if they all staggered or something? No. So, there is something called, well, there's two different ways that can happen, where it's like cell communicate with other cell through axon terminals and, like just vesicles where they send neurotransmitters or... That's what I'm saying, the all or none principle is like, if there's not enough sodium that goes into the cells, then it won't depolarize. All of them have to be doing this. Like they have to all reach this to go at the same time. Yeah. Calcium is this whole I think, especially when talking musculoskeletal. Yes, it is. Which is why I'm gonna avoid it. I am going to avoid it as much as I can. It's like calcium blockage for hydration. Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because it's complicated. it'd be very complicated. But yeah, all or none principle. If it helps, look that up. Trust. It might make it easier to understand how they all go at the same time. Yeah. But neurotransmitters and axon terminal stuff. Yeah. Honestly, axon terminals are more common in the spine. Like traveling long distances, myelin sheath type thing. But anyway, that's complicated. I don't want to go too much into it. Okay, cardiomyocytes, heart muscle. This is different. There's calcium involved. Yeah, you see the difference? I think it's a pretty big difference. I think you can see a pretty big difference. Yeah. Does this look intimidating yet? I hope it doesn't. It's a lot of words. I know it's a lot of words, but this is for those of you who like the chemistry shit. Yeah, I need water. Hold on. We are wired, but the positive charges of the sodium potassium need to build the send signal. Yes. 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 Oh, you got it. You understood. Yes. Maybe it gives it being intimidating. Nice. Okay. 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 Now that you know what depolarization is and repolarization is, I think we can move on to cardiomyocytes safely. So, like I said, just so you don't forget, resting state is whatever the bottom baseline is. Depolarization, more positive. Repolarization, more negative. Hyperpolarization, below whatever it was at rest. Okay? Okay. Man, where do I even begin? Okay, so biggest difference here is the resting state for a cardiomyocyte is negative 90 millivolts. Yes, and the reason is potassium channels are always open, and potassium has an equilibrium state of negative 90 millivolts. It is tiny. It is small, but it is negative. Significantly enough. I also put the timestamps here by milliseconds. They're very, very quick. They're very, very speed. Okay? Okay. There's no what's it called? Threshold thing. Cardiomyocytes don't have that. They don't. No. Instead, what happens is sodium goes into the cell, and because there's more sodium going in, the other sodium channels next to it are like, ooh, it's our time, and the Avengers assemble and they all open up their channels. It's like that. Yeah. That's why this is so fast, is because the sodium channels are like, ooh, and then the next one, its neighbor goes like, oh, is it time, sodium channel number 1? The one next to it goes like, yes. Okay. And then they all go, you know, it's like telling your neighbor, hey, we're opening up, it's time for the party. And then they open it up. Yeah. And then it goes boom. Okay, and it hits, it's like it varies, to be honest. I think it's around 30 or 40. I'm pretty sure it's around, oh wait, I didn't finish this. Typo. I missed the V. Yeah. Around 30 to 40 millivolts. And then once it reaches the peak, it's like, okay, we're done. But because it's the cardiomyocyte, there's this little plateau phase. And honestly, I hated learning this part because it was such a pain in the ass. So what happens is sodium channels stop. They're like, no more sodium needed. We're good now. So the positive charge drops. And it only drops a little bit because instead there are potassium and calcium channels that are open. I mean, there's less potassium because I think that was there's a fancy word for this. Inward rectifier potassium channels. Yeah, it's a fancy word, but basically those close, which mean there's less potassium going out of the cell. Yeah. Is it efflux? Yeah. And then calcium channels. They're like, hey, hi, and then they open. So that means there's more calcium coming in, which is what keeps this upward. This is what keeps it from repolarizing all the way down, is calcium opens up. Yeah, yeah. Calcium. Calcium be like, hey. Yeah. So even though potassium channels have closed and sodium is also no longer coming in, calcium is what keeps the heart, the cardiomyocyte, from repolarizing. Yeah. But eventually, there will be a point where the calcium channels close and the potassium channels open. Yes, and that's what causes this part. This part, the repolarization part. Yeah. So, I guess, okay, you know, if I can write this might make it easier. Make it black. Okay. So, up here, sodium goes down. That's like this part. This part. Okay? And then, kind of like around, I'd say... Is it the I think it's the plateau phase. Yeah, that's when... Not P. Yeah, it's P. Yes, P. Is it P? No, it's K. Calcium goes down. Calcium goes up. Yeah. And then, once we hit number 4, that's when potassium goes up. Is it up? Potassium goes up. And then calcium goes down. Yeah. Does that help? Does that help? I hope that helps. Yeah. It's just like there's I guess the amount of each varies a lot. Yeah. So like when potassium be like close, potassium be like hello. But then potassium be like you've overstayed your welcome. Get out. So potassium comes in and takes over and calcium be like okay, goodbye. And then we're back at rest. Yeah. That's what happens. That's what happens. At the cardiomyocyte. Yeah, yeah. That's what happens at the cardiomyocyte. Isn't that interesting? Ow. Yeah. I'm cautious to understand. I mean... Oh, I think this is one cool fact. Hold on. I don't think I ever talked about this yet. So, there is something called an absolute refractory period and a relative refractory period. So, during this phase here... I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, like... It's very... I think it's during the plateau-ish. Like right here. It prevents... this is like... How do I explain this? It's the part of the cycle that other action potentials cannot start up. Is that... Yeah? It's kind of like a preventive system to not have a heart attack. It's like during said peak time, you can't generate another thing like this. Nah, you can't do that. That won't exist. That does not. They can't do that. You can't do that because that's the absolute refractory period. Where for sure during this phase here, you cannot generate another baboon like that. No. Yeah, there's things like that, which you can kind of tell from the chart stuff. It's complicated. I don't want to get too into it. But yeah, there's the absolute refractory period. Relative refractory period is like here. Cause like say your heart needs to pump faster, cause you're exercising or something, then of course they can be closer together. You know, they can be closer together, but they will not overlap like this, cause there's like an absolute period here where it's like you definitely cannot start another action potential at that point. Otherwise, your heart's gonna go crazy. Yeah, does that make sense? I hope it does. This part's really hard to understand for some people, cause yeah. Okay. Anyway, so when sodium important, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna show you what it looks like at different parts. So this is like not the cardiac one, but I figured like this applies to more of the body, not just the heart, where this is what the channels look like from a cellular perspective, like between inside and the outside of the cell. Like, so every time I say Negative 70 millivolts is it's at rest. That's inside the cell. And when it depolarizes and things open, channels open, it's trying to balance out with the outside. So, like here? Like here, for example, to get from this low point to this point, the channel opens, and this is what it looks like. Where a bunch of sodium is just trying to go into the cell. It's because it's open now. It's like the gate. The gate is open. Yeah. But then at some point, the voltage will block it. Because they're like, we don't need you no more. Yeah. Because once equilibrium of sodium has been reached, which is the plus 30 thing, they're like, we don't need you no more. So it closes. And that's when repolarization happens. Because potassium. Yeah. Everything leaves. And sodium no longer is inside the cell. Yeah. Okay? I hope that helps. Hey! Glad I could help. Okay. I think that's enough now. It's a lot. That was a lot. That was 2 hours worth, 1.5 hours worth of information. I can tell you right now that potassium channels are so much more simpler. They just look like blobs like this. They're like this. This is when they're open. This is when they're closed. And it just opens and closes like that. There's no little like gate thing or whatever. Yeah, it's none of that. Potassium and sodium are slightly different in that sense, where potassium doesn't have the ball and chain mechanism in it. Yeah. Okay. I think that's enough. I think that's plenty. Was that a lot of information? Was that overwhelming? I hope that was okay. I hope you learned something. I hope that was worth it. There's I think a lot of you were interested in the pacemaker stuff, so I can draw you like a pacemaker version, I suppose. So hold on. Because pacemakers have a different wave compared to cardiomyocytes and typical action potential cells. I'll make it quick. Goes like it's like a slant, and then it goes like badoong. Oh, yeah, it's kind of like this. So it's like negative 60 millivolts, and then the it's like 20 up here, and then the threshold should be like negative 30. Yeah, that's the threshold. It's like this. And so in the beginning, there's this fancy thing called a funny channel, like a funny current. It's a really fancy current. I don't want to go into it, but there's something called a funny current. And it's open, and like calcium channels open, and then potassium channels open, up until like this is like potassium channels open, so that's why it goes down or close. I mean, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it looks like this. This is like the pacemaker version, so the threshold is like here somewhere. Hold on. There. Yeah. It's like that. That's the pacemaker version. Yeah, it's a very quick version. Ugh, oh god. Oh yay! I love it. I should talk about something like this. Really? Yeah? You want me to talk more about it? I totally would. If you liked it. This was like a test run to see if I could actually teach things and not sound like I'm a dum-dum. Oh, Yuminyan. Member for 4 months? Hey! Cause I could think of it. What's the significance behind the different thresholds? So different parts of the body in general, they have different thresholds. Like they don't need as much charge or they don't need as much of a thing to start signals being sent. So yeah, there's like the heart, for example. Let me. The heart doesn't really even have one. Cardiomyocytes don't really have a threshold. They kind of just go. Because the SA would be like, hey, it's time! Muscles, contract! And this is how they get the signal to contract. Like, for skeletal muscles in the body, like your gastrocs, your abs, you know, your back muscles, extensors and all that, it's this, where it's only -55 because that's the skeletal muscle type. Like striated muscle, for example. Like, different muscles, different types of things. They're made up of different cells. So, each of their thresholds are different. Yeah. You have a member milestone 2 months back? 3 months! Hey! Everybody's like an actual looker. Yeah, we have a lot of nerves stirring through a lot of parts of our body. I was thinking that I could do a anatomy stream one day. Like, talking about nerves and stuff. I love cranial nerves. I think it's really fun to do cranial nerves. Yeah, but those are really complicated. So maybe we'll just stick to, like, basic anatomy. I don't know. I'll think about it. Oh, you know what? There's actually something really funny that I learned the other day. So, what I like to think is how I remember stuff is connecting it to funny or like strange things that make sense to me somehow. One of them is that arteries start with the letter A, which means they go away from something. Like, I just think A, away. Yeah, so like arteries will take oxygenated blood away from the heart, for example. Like, that's one way to look at it. But there's like one exception, which is the pulmonary veins and arteries. So instead of looking at it within relation to the heart, pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein different. Like, pulmonary veins are typically the deoxygenated stuff, but the veins in general are typically deoxygenated blood, but the lungs, the pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood. Pulmonary veins carry oxygenated blood. Like here. Typically it's like the arteries that carry oxygenated things, but this is a vein. Yeah. I find that kind of funky. Yeah. Also, there's like a really simple way to think of the heart. It's like a box. Just draw a box. Like this. You're like, right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. And then you can be like, okay, so superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, left pulmonary vein, right pulmonary vein, like pulmonary. Hold on, there we go. Pulmonary artery go like this. Aorta be like somewhere over here. Just draw a box like, whew. And there's like 3 holes actually. Like, yeah. There's 3 of them. Here 2. Yeah. You know, this is how I think about it. There's like the aorta that goes this way, and then descending aorta down there. This is how I studied it. Like, it's just a box. I expect to know when to change heart rate for my teeth. How does the box differ from the brain? Ooh, that one I'm actually not so sure. Like, that is one thing that I didn't study too much of, but I'm pretty sure that, like, there's a set rhythm in it. Yeah. At least that's from what I remember, is that there's a set rhythm. But I could be wrong. Minister is my base me mama. If you want, okay. I take blood from the heart, take blood to the heart. Yeah, it's not the key factor at all, but I'm just saying it's an easy way to remember it. Yeah. Oh, hey, man! A banana. All about tomorrow. Don't worry about moderate. Take time to rest. If you're tired from your trip, like, take the time to yourself, okay? Don't worry about it. But welcome back. Arteries away, veins go moving back. Yes. Yeah, nerves that include like sciatic nerves. Yeah, like I would talk more about nerves in general, more like anatomy of it. Yeah, anatomy of it. I think I think that's pretty what do you call it? Cool to know about, like things that are inside your body. Like anastomosis of things. I love talking about that kind of stuff. I love anatomy in general, so yeah. I like that. I like that kind of thing. I was wondering if I should do anatomy or neuro or immunology, cause I have stuff on that. I have a lot of stuff on that, so I think it'd be cool to do it one day. But I'll have to ask you guys, like, what you want. Honestly, it was pretty fun getting to teach this stuff. I missed it. But this took me a really long time to plan. So, like, when I was making this entire note thingy, I had to be, like, careful with how I phrased stuff and, like, where I decided to say what. This entire thing was basically like 3 lectures of my university life dumbed down to like an hour. Yeah, or maybe 2 hours. Yeah. I learned like so many details. I had to pick and choose, like, okay, don't include this, don't include that. Yeah. So yeah, I gave you a crash course in cardiology. You like immunology? Yeah, they're really intense. My only issue with it is I don't know how to draw stuff. I don't know how to draw stuff. It'd be hard to draw it, I think. It's better than teaching you bad education. Aww. Yo, White Rabbit Usagi-kun, この名前本当に長いね。どうやって覚えてるの? There's some neurological things that are wild, like your brain learning like you. Yeah! I want to talk more about, like, applicable situations. I feel like I didn't do that too much today. I'll remember that for next time. Now I know. If you had been my teacher, I might have got this. Usagi-kun! じゃあ今から勉強して。Yeah. Okay. I think... Was that enough? I don't know. I want to think about what I'm doing next time with you guys. This was pretty fun. This was nice. We should do this again. Yeah, I want to talk more about like pathological things. You know, like if I had to talk about the lung and how it was affected, like with COVID or pulmonary lung diseases. That's the same shit. What am I saying? Like pulmonary diseases, like when people smoke, what happens to your lungs? Alveoli, you know, gas exchange. More about the numbers, because some of you like that. Or even the kidneys. You know, I spent 3 hours studying a lecture about kidneys. Like the glomerulus and nephrons and where things get absorbed and where things get absorbed and don't get absorbed, things like that. I remember that. Oh god, that was tough. Because I feel like teaching you anatomy of your muscles is... You can figure that out on your own just by looking up a picture. But to explain the flow of things in your body, that'd be really difficult. You know what? Maybe one day I'll explain menstruation. That way you guys know what happens to females when that time of the month comes. I think I'm visiting how to the body. Ah, yay. Yeah. Oh, Starlight! Member for 7 months. Damn! Oh wait, let me read this. Hold on. BSCC, this stream is the top most interesting VTuber content you can't get anywhere else. Your knowledge and drawings of notes are so good. Thanks for sharing clear and I tell me then that. Ah! Thank you, Starlight! I'm glad it was helpful. Yay! Give me the... Thank you, Panda. It is interesting. It is interesting. Arigato. Minna kyoumi aru. I'm happy. Talking about bone structure and YFS would be really cool. Most people don't realize how much the bones are short. Yeah, the bones are really cool. You know that's where blood comes from, right? In bone marrow? You guys know that, right? You guys know that, right? Stem cells, bone marrow. The home of the red blood cells. Just watch Cells at Work. You'll find that out pretty fast. Rez! What the fuck? Thank you for the soup. That's such a big soup. What do you mean I? I what? Yes, you guys know because you're bone marrow? Nice. You know bones are actually so interesting. I love learning the different parts of the bone. It was so fun. You know the spine is really cool? Yeah, the spine is really cool. You know your spine, the vertebrae? Do you know how they like bend and stuff with each other? There's actually little facets that they slide against. It's pretty cool. How each one, like from your neck to your from C1 to S5, which is like cervical vertebrae number 1, and then there's like a yeah. There's a lot. There's 12 thoracic vertebrae, 5 lumbar vertebrae. I think there's 7 cervical vertebrae. And then another, is it 5 or 6? Don't remember how many there are in the lowest part, your tailbone. There's a fancy word for the tailbone, but I won't say it. But yeah. Does it work again? I love the little kid platelets. I love them! They're so accurate with the way they like depict them too, with like blood clotting and stuff. It's so nice. I can teach you more about killer T cells and shit. Immunology. I'll have to think really carefully what I want to teach you guys next. Yeah. Why blood is made within the bones? You know, I actually don't know. Sacrum. Yes, fancy bone. One cocky's bone. That's the little tiny triangle at the end. Doesn't that be a great watch? Oh yeah, that would be nice. Maybe I can do that as members only content. Oh. My brain's working. Yeah. I like Cells at Work. I like Cells at Work black. You know they talked about erectile dysfunction. I thought that was so funny. Is that an epiphany? It was an idea. It was a light bulb. Yes, Starlight, a light bulb just went off. Took the light bulb. I guess we're doing a watch along for the next members only stream. I love immunology. I don't know. I'll think about it. Neurology, immunology. What else? We got other parts of the system that I haven't even covered yet. Hold on. Let me go through my notes real quick. Let me hide this from you guys. Because I have some of my university notes that I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to share with you guys. Because that's illegal. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me check. Let me check this. 30... What did I do in my third year? Let me see. Oof. Knee joints. Oh, knee joints are pretty interesting. Oh. Patella stuff, foot stuff. Oh my god. Can you believe that I had this in my brain? Can you believe that? Like, I memorized this. The entire thing. Can you believe that? This was in my brain. That's the knee joint. Yo, I'm surprised. My brain held so much information. How in the fuck did it remember all of that? Yo, okay, guys. You want me to do the immunology stream? Well, I'm going to have to compile everything here. Everything here. Into one tiny 2-hour stream. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that, guys. This might be a lot to have to go through. Maybe we'll hold off on that immunology stream for now because Bruh, this all had like legitimate shit here. If I zoom in, there's legitimate things. Yo, what? If I zoom in really close, I can see what I wrote in the pictures. Oh my. Flagellin, gram-negative bacteria. Oh, I remember this shit. Oh, I like this thing. It's how you know whether it's gram-positive or negative. And oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, this shit. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Innate immunity. Ooh, I like this one. It's how a blood clot forms. And you know why your fingers get swollen when you get a paper cut? Yeah, yeah. Oh, cytokines. What's this shit? Lectin pathway, classical pathway, alternative pathway. Oh, this is the three-way. Oh, I remember this. It's how your body fights against the thingy. See one in. Oh, hey, look, it's little microbiota in your stomach. Ahahaha! Yo, I remember this shit. Wait, what's this thing? It's so tiny. Oh, this is what affects microbiota in your gut. Ah! What's this stuff? Crohn's disease. How it causes chronic inflammation. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's this entire table? Distinctive features of the mucosa immune system. Ay, ay, ay. You're telling me you want me to go through all of this? Antigen receptors. Oh, this one's nice. I like receptor stuff. B cell, T cells. You know B cell, T cells, right? You guys know B and T cells from cells at work. Does talk about gut bacteria be so cool? Right? I love gut bacteria. You know how good your gut bacteria is? There's good and there's bad gut bacteria. Oh gosh. There's so much I could teach you. Look at this. Ooh. Memory stuff and... Ooh. Ah. Wow. IG, E. Oh, I remember the IG thingies. Oh, yo. Oh, this is my favorite. How your T cells and B cells react with each other. There's cytokines and... Oh, bruh. It's been years since I studied this. Aww. This brings back memories. Hold on, let me see if I have any other pretty notes for you. Advanced biomechanics. I have notes for this? What the fuck did I do in this class? Oh, this is a lot of physics. There's a lot of physics. What did I do in summer school? Oh wait, yo, cardiorespiratory system thing. Yo. Here, look. I showed this before. Yeah, your lungs. Look, I drew a little smoke thingy. Pneumothorax. You know, when your lungs start to fill up with blood to the point that you suffocate in your own blood. Internal suffocation. Let me teach you how that happens. You know, when you puncture a lung, you know, and why sometimes people need to get intubated and... Oh, that'd be cool. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? Pretty sure this was just the midterm. Yeah, central chemoreception. Up until there. Okay. Oh, you guys can't see that. You're not allowed to see all this. This is all my stuff. No, it's okay. I actually don't mind. But it's all my university stuff, and it's kind of overwhelming, I think, if you guys looked at all of it. But do you see how organized that was? You see how organized that was? At the time? Did you see? How organized everything is? You see? You see how organized everything is? I'm an organized person. I'm not that klutzy. I promise. Yeah. What's this one? Oh, yo, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, wow, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. Holy fuck. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? Okay, look. After every little thing, there's like... a bunch of notes under it. Wait, why? 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 What was I doing? No! No! Bruh! Are you kidding me? Bruh! This is how I studied? Man, this glomerulus stuff. Digestion, receptors. Bro! Yo, I'm genuinely worried for my well-being. This is what I did at school. Oh, I guess sometimes they weren't that neat looking. I mean, look at this. It's not that neat. It's just a summary of everything. See? It's not always that neat. Sell my notes on Patreon? No, I'm not gonna sell my notes on Patreon. Really? Dang. Fascinating stuff. That's what I would hope you guys, you know, get to learn. Is that there's some things you remember, right? I hope you guys remember some things that I taught you today. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. 私と君の同じ4.0 GPA. No, not that high. Not that high. My GPA was above a 3.5. That much I can say. Yeah. I don't want to give it away exactly what it was, but it was pretty high. It's not a 4.0. Not a 4.0. But, pretty high. And I think you can tell it's high for a reason. I tried very hard. I studied a lot. I'm big brain. If someone tells me I'm not big brain and I'm dumb after this stream, I'm going to fucking explode. Okay? This is the one stream where I would hope you guys understand that I'm not a dum-dum. Sometimes I'm a bit airheaded, but I swear I studied hard. I know my shit. I tried. I wanna close this up. No iPad needed now. Okay, let me... Oh my. You guys are going fast. Are you okay? Are you right over there? Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me... Ha! I can see! Does it look empty now? Yo, my face feels so empty. My face feels empty. I feel blind. I feel blind. My face feels so empty. My face feels so empty. Am I opening my eyes wide? I don't know. It feels so empty, like my eyes got smaller or something. I don't know why. What the heck? What the heck? Feels empty. Hold on, let me reorient myself a bit now that I'm done teaching. I'm done teaching. I think that was a lot. That was plenty. That's enough knowledge for you to sit on for like an entire 2 weeks, I swear to God. Like someone using live mode? I'm not using live mode. I don't like live mode. Oh god, let me stretch. Did you enjoy teaching your first class? You know what? Yeah. Yeah. I had my doubts. I was worried that people wouldn't want to watch, that people wouldn't actually listen to what I was saying, or people wouldn't take me seriously. I was really worried about it because I feel like it's been a thing where people don't really take me seriously when I want to talk about serious things lately. But no, I think this particular stream has instilled my faith in all of you again. So, thank you guys. I'm glad you liked what it is I decided to teach you for the first time. And you know what? It is true. I think what Starlight said is true. Where not many VTubers will do this kind of thing. I think a lot of VTubers like to focus stuff with like gaming and chatting and like doing events, things like that, which is totally fine, you know, like variety content and all. But you know, because I have my degree and at the moment I'm a full-time VTuber, I don't use it for anything besides fun facts, I suppose. Like, you know, it's more unique content, which I'm very glad that I can make. Yeah, it's a unique talent of mine, thanks to my hard work that I am able to do it. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. I think in VTubing, people go to watch VTubers for like fun stuff. You know, they want to de-stress from the world, right? You know, they want to just have fun and not worry about things and, you know, be free. But At the same time, I feel like doing stuff like this is pretty damn different. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen another VTuber do things like this before. So, I think it's gonna teach medicine on shit other than you. That's really freaking cool and 55 for Mondays. Thank you, Mom Becca. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for entertaining, but also learning this. Yeah, yeah. You guys were great students. Aw, you know what? Hey, if you want to try it, give it a go. No one's telling you no. You won't know how it goes until you try it. Like me, I was honestly really scared of doing it. I was genuinely worried that people wouldn't enjoy it, but I'm glad you found whatever I said interesting. I'm gonna go back in the stream and be like, oh fuck, what did I say? Maybe I guess that's right enough of the stuff so yeah, maybe some practical thing. Yeah, fuck. Thank you. But thank you guys. Thank you, Mopeka, Starlight, Fuck, all you. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys liked the stream. Okay, the questions be a kind of solid center in the middle. Oh, thank you, Panda! Thank you. So much of a lot of things weren't taught in my program, it was all skipped over. It's like there's so much that I don't know. So Drake, I'll teach more. Oh, Chirina! You're welcome. Hey, Chirina. If there's anything you're learning, let me know. Maybe I can plan a stream about it, yeah? Yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Teach you stuff that you don't even know. I'm glad I was able to teach you something that you didn't know earlier, Jack. I'm glad. I'm really glad. みえ先生、ホームワークはありますか？いないけどあげる。あげる。次の配信。の、心の、what do you even call it? Like, function? Flow? 覚えてる？ Honestly, I think the most useful thing from the stream, or just like fun fact, I should say, is the like the heartbeat. Because all of you may have assumed that what you hear is the ventricles or the atria contracting, but it's actually like the sound of the pressure of like the valve and the blood flow. Yeah, it's not I mean, yes, it's kind of the contraction, but most of the sound is like the valve thing closing and opening. So that's why you can hear heart murmurs through the stethoscope. When you put it to your heart, you can hear the blood flow. If it's kind of like gurgly-ish, it's not a very clear, succinct bub sound. Like you can tell. I think that's one really cool thing that a lot of you guys didn't know. Like backflow, how your heart prevents backflow and how it keeps it as a one-way type of thing. Yeah. Or like the ECG. Yeah, a lot of you probably may have gotten ECGs done just as like a checkup thing. Like I get ECGs done once every 6 or 5 months. So, yeah. And the ECG is not showing the physical movement of the heart, but only the signals. Yes, it's called an electrocardiogram. 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 It is the signals. Yeah. Electrocardiogram. Signals. Electrical signals. Usually it was a whole lot of ETs before, but I was just like the looking bouncy line. Bouncy line. Yeah. Now you know what it is. The first P wave. Honestly, the biggest thing's PQRST waves. I do not know why they didn't just name it ABCDEF waves. Like they decided to pick P to T. Like it's dumb. But yeah, the PQRST thing. Yeah, P atria. Q is the slowly going down the ventricles. R is the what do you call it? Ventricular depolarization. S is close to repolarization, and then T is late repolarization. Maybe because the ventricles need time to repolarize. It's a big section compared to the atria. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Yeah. 2 big takeaways is those 2 things, in my opinion. Like, the rest of it, like, if you want to know it, sure, but you don't have to. I don't think it's that necessary. As long as you know it, blood goes to your lungs and your heart and your body, like, I think you're good. You don't necessarily need to know exactly how it gets to places or how it leaves, but yeah. Because it's a fancy word, you know? Like, there's fancy Latin words or something, like superior and inferior vena cava, and then the aorta is also a funky word. Pulmonary is just also another funky word. So, you know, you don't actually need to remember that, but it's like cool to know it. Yeah. And if you're into the chemistry and the more cellular level things, you might have liked the action potential stuff. Action potentials are everywhere. Like, just to open my mouth, I'm pretty sure there's like thousands and thousands of action potentials being sent from my brain to my mouth muscles. Like, yeah, it's a lot. I think that's honestly one of the cool things to be like, hey, how do you lift a finger? You just do it, right? No, no, no. There's signals. Your brain goes like, zoom, zoom, zoom. Myelin sheath, axon. You know, there's a lot. I think it'd be pretty cool to teach you guys about that next time. It's kind of part of neurology. The linguistics are... Yeah, you are a literary geek, which I think is cool. I think that's a really cool thing, Mopeka. I think I never know too much. You can always... Yeah, yeah. Brain doing lots of work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do it, Sean. Hustle, list of fingers, size, and hey, if you're interested in it, yeah, I'll do it. I just need to figure out a way to do it. I wanna, you know, talk about like, you know, systems, different types of systems. Because today was just the cardiovascular thing, and it was such a surface level thing too. I wanna like talk about maybe even fine motor movements. Like, how does your brain learn to do fine motor movements? Like writing versus gross motor movements. Or like, how do you learn it? How do you increase your reaction times and speed? Or what things can hinder it and how and why? Things like that. Because I took a course about that kind of thing, like sensory integration stuff. Um, and like rhythm games, you know, like how are people able to play such difficult rhythm games, and like how does your like what you see visually and like how do you encode it in your brain, integrate it into your system? Be like, I see button. Brain be like, okay, finger need to press button. When do you press button? Now. You know, that has to go really quick in your brain. Can you imagine how fast neurons have to spike like that? Like, it is insane how fast your body has to do things just to do the most basic things that you don't think actually... Like, you know, like breathing, you know? Like breathing. It just be like naturally. Like, right? Until you mention it and then it becomes manual breathing. Yeah. Like simple things like this. I just think it's cool to learn and know. Yeah. It may be really simple, but there's a lot of things behind it. And I think it's cool to know how your body works. You know? You know? Yeah, I wanna know the argument. Ah! Yeah, you know what? If there's like... Maybe I can do like a whole pathological clinical thing. I'm no doctor. I do have a bachelor degree in something healthcare related and a minor in physiology, but I'm no doctor. I didn't do the MCAT. I didn't go to medical school. I do not have a master's degree or anything like that. Like, I'm very much just undergraduate with a degree. I finished my undergrad. That's basically all it is. And I think it's enough for now. Yeah, it's enough for now. I don't need more at the moment. Which is how you know I'm not gonna use all the fancy lingo. But I can explain things in a at least fundamental way where it's like, okay, simple enough for me. Right? I think that's enough. You wanna see your immune system kill things? I got you. I'll tell you how the macrophage goes like blah 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 blah. And it disappears. It goes poof. I'll teach you all about that. One day. One day. I'll find a day. I'll find a thing. I'll find a time. Yeah. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. This is gonna be a series now, I bet. You guys are gonna want me to teach you a lot of shit. Let's do the watch along for cells at work. I think that'd be really fun to do as members only content. Yeah. I've been meaning to do a watch along of something and I still haven't done it, but I think it'd be cool to do. You know about the macrophage? Yes. Rainbow Child, yes. Exactly. That's who I'm talking about. Yes. 働く細胞。メンバーだけの配信は一緒に働く細胞のアニメ、それを見て、一緒に見て。Yeah? Yeah, let's watch Cells at Work together sometime. There is to do electric experiences. Yo! Yes. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. You think it'd be fun? Yeah. Okay, let me type this down so I don't forget. Unless you guys remind me at some point. Yeah. Yay! Nice. Okay, let me type this down in my list of potential thing. Hold on. Stream plans. Watch Cells at Work with members and explain immunology. Okay. Give me to how reflex, you know, it'd be a good stream. Yeah! Yo! Mom, pick up! Hold on. To type this fucking thing in. Oh my god. Yes! Mom Packer, you're a genius. My gosh. Thank you, Jack, for joining the membership. Oh, Rainbow Chat, you joined too. Hi. Welcome. Make sure you're in the Discord. Okay. Alright, I think that's enough. I think we're done. I'm tired. My brain hurts. I've been so worried about this stream for the entire week, ever since I made my schedule. So I think I need to just potato for a bit. I need to potato. I need to be a potato. I've been so worried about the stream. I cried about it because I wasn't sure if I was good enough to do it. Like, I pushed my comfort zone to do this stream, and I'm glad it turned out well. Yeah, I'm glad it turned out really well. Potato. Oh, thank you, Mopeka. Thank you. That honestly means a lot, cause I had so many doubts. Just thinking about it, I had so many doubts, and man, I am so glad I did it now, cause this just kind of opened up a flood of things that I could do for content now. And you know, if you guys hadn't said, you know, like that you'd be interested in coming, then I definitely wouldn't have done it. Like, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I did it. Yeah, I'll do more. I'll do more for sure. Thank you. Thank you. You guys made it easy for me to teach today. Like, I'm glad you guys asked some questions, you know, or like how you imparted your own knowledge about what you knew. That was cool. Seeing you guys talk about it was really cool too. Cause you know, it's hard to be like, hey, do you know about this and this and this and this? Like, I can't. Everyone has different levels of knowledge about different things, right? So I was like, you know, it's probably a good idea to let everybody just talk about different things, different stuff. Like, yeah, you know, I just thought it was nice. I don't know, getting to see you guys talk about it, be intellectuals and big brain together. That was really nice. That was honestly so nice. My heart ducky. Oh, hey Anna! You're down for another course? Of course, I will do another course about something. I do not know what yet, but I will think of something. Whatever I find in my notes and what I find interesting, I'll do it. Yeah. Hopefully, I cross my fingers that I'm able to find something that I hope you guys find interesting too. Cause it's kind of difficult to find like interesting content sometimes. Like, I don't want to bore you guys out. I don't want to be I don't want to repeat myself too much. I don't want to overload you guys, but I also don't want to underteach anything. You know, it's just... Math class? No, no, no. I'm sticking to what I know, and that's healthcare. It's physiology. I'll stick to what I know. Yeah. I'll teach you ergonomics one day. Maybe, I don't know. I'll teach you what I know. I don't want to teach you something I don't know. And if I need to study a little bit before it, then so be it. At the very least, I'm keeping what I know from my undergrad fresh in my brain. And that's enough for me. And it should be enough for you. I can't teach math for my life. I hated it. I hated math so much. It's the one class where I needed to get a math tutor. Okay? In any other class, any other subject, I did not need one. I was perfectly fine. But all throughout high school, I kept refusing to see a math tutor. Only in grade 12, my senior year, was I like, okay, I need help. And then I got it. So, you know, I'm just saying. You know, it's I know what my strengths are. And I'm gonna keep and stick to it. Okay? I'm sticking to my strengths. I'm not gonna deviate. Not gonna deviate. Okay, okay. We should go raid somebody. We need to go raid somebody. Who should we raid? Oh, Mana-chan was here. Hi, Mana-chan. Who should we raid? Do any of you guys know who's live right now? By any chance? Anyone you can recommend me to raid? See if I can raid them. Hold on. You're still here? Oh, hi! Hello! Hello, Mana-chan! I like seeing Mana. Mana's a cutie. Mana's such a cutie. Kawaii-ko. Okay. Who can I raid? Who is on right now? Let me see. What are my options? So, I can raid Seren Tatsuki, Yuki and Yuna, Cerberus, Obaka Pam, Necro News, Pudding, Mio Horizon, and Rosa. Who should I raid? Who should I raid? Who should I? Those are my options right now. I can't raid anybody else but those few. Which is so sad. Yeah, Necro News is live. Can I raid? Will it be awkward to raid them? Yeah, Necro News is live. Yeah. They're both yeah. They're both yeah. Necro News is live. Let's see. Let me see. Who else? Should I raid Necro News? I've never raided them before. Nene Amano? That's not an option in my list. I don't have Nene on my list. Sag. Should I raid Necro News? Should I do it? Yeah. Necro News can be raided. Did it earlier? Oh! Can you raid a Bakabam? I did! Yeah. Okay, Montaka. What are they doing actually? I don't know. What are they doing over there? They're playing a game. I think. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Hold on. Let me check what everybody is doing. The people I can raid. I'm gonna say it again. Selen Tatsuki from Niji Sanji. Yuki and Yuna, the dual leveling peoples. Cerberus, who is a voice actor. Obake Pem, the CEO of PlayAsia. Necro News, who's a from Kawa Entertainment. And then there's Pudding. I think was Pudding part of Tsundere before? Something like that. I don't remember. Mio Horizon is from Akio Air. It's another VTuber agency. And then Rosa Koto. She's from what's that new one? Luna. Used to be 4V Live. They rebranded into something else, but I don't know what. I forgot the name. Luna. Something. Yeah. Those are the people that I can raid. Pick one. Should you say Selen? Oh! I see. Yeah, they renamed themselves. I forgot what it was. It starts with an L and a U. I think if you need to see mechanisms, to go. I don't blame you, Rainbow Chat. I don't blame you. You bad with horror? Oh! So let's playing a horror game? Pretty streamers. Why is everyone streaming horror shit right now? No horror games. I'm not sending you to a creepy zone. I'm not sending you to the scary peoples. No, the scary stuff. If it wasn't a scary thing, I'd send you there. But it's creepy! I don't want to send you to a horror thing after an educational stream, bruh. No, no. I'm careful with who I raid. Okay. At least the content that it is, not the people. It's the content. If I'm doing something scary, then I would send you to a horror stream. If I'm doing something fun, I'm gonna send you to something fun, like Animal Crossing. Okay, I'll send you to a Stardew Valley stream or some shit. You know, it's gotta match. It's gotta match. I'm not gonna send you to something scary, bruh. No, see, I have tact. I'm sensible. Reina's reviewing fridges. I can't raid Reina. I'm limited in who I can raid. You guys want to see how it looks like? I can finally show it to you guys. My gosh. Where's my window cap? See? This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. I only have a few options. You see those who are live? Like these? The top few? Those are my options that I can pick from. I can't pick from anything else. So yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying there's only so much there's only so many people I can raid, okay? I don't have many options. I wish I had more. But I don't. I don't. What's Pam doing? Let's see. Nike! Oh, wait, isn't that the Pew Pew game? I think it's a Pew Pew game. No, but what if I can raid new people? I think I should raid new people. I think it'd be better to raid new people. Do you think it'd be better to raid new people? We should raid someone new. We should raid someone new. How about we raid... You know what? Let's just raid Necro News. I think we can raid Necro News. Let's raid Necro News. They're still alive, right? Are they still alive? Are they still alive? They started streaming 3 hours ago. Dang. Yeah, I've been raiding into Pam a lot too, so like I don't want to raid into Pam again. I feel bad. I keep bombarding her with raids. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Rainbow Child. Thank you. Man, I wish I could raid into everybody. Why can't I raid into everybody, huh? This makes me so sad. Oh, thank you for the hashtag, Andrew. Thank you. You said close my eyes? Okay. Mini 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 mo, just a tiny mini stop. If you see it raining up, mini 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 mo. Man, it was off the thing. Hello, mouse? Where'd you go? Huh? Oh man, I went off the screen again. Okay. Oh, it landed on Selene. Now I'm scared. No, it's not female VTubers only. There's Cerberus in there. Did I raid Selene? Man, I wanted to raid Necro News too. Can I raid both of them? Oh! Man, I'm so indecisive, guys. Help. Help. Are you raiding into... Are you raiding into Selene? Are we doing it? Man, I'm scared. Flip a coin? And then you can't have both? I know I can't have both! Which sucks! Oh, now you know I'm frustrated because my accent's coming out. I like Necro News and I like Selene. I like both of them. And I never get to catch Necro News live either because I stream the same time they do! Ah! Okay, I'll flip a coin. Coin... Flip. Okay. Heads or tails for Selene and... Okay, how about heads? Heads for Selene, tails for Necro News, alright? Okay. Wait, it's not flipping. Hello? 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 Try the flip? Oh man, I have to set up the... Hold on, it's not flipping. Google! It's on tails. It landed on tails. Yeah, it took so many clicks. What the fuck? Was it bugged out or something? What was tails again? Does that mean Necro may be ending too? Well, they've been streaming for 3 hours. They've been streaming for 3 hours. That's a decent amount of time to be streaming, you know? Quite a long time, if I do say so myself. Yeah. Necro News? I think we're going into Necro News then. Yeah. Let's go into Necro News. Hold on, let me open up the stream. Give me a second. Okay. Save that. Hopefully this works. I always like to double check. Yep, okay. Man, that took a long time for me to decide. I'm a very indecisive person. I'm sorry, guys. Especially when there's so many great people that I want to raid. Like, oh, I'm indecisive. Okay, anyway. I'm gonna go now. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for coming today. And I really hope you guys learned something. You remember what it is you learned. Like fun facts even, you know? Like I hope it was useful for you. Okay? Enjoy the raid into Necronews. They're pretty cool. Yeah. They work with Kawa Entertainment. Yeah. You'll see. Please follow their rules, by the way. They do have rules. Okay? Yeah. Have a fun time with them, alright? 楽しかった。よかったね。みんな何か覚えてるのかな? We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'll quiz you guys in the next stream. Okay, I'm gonna go now, guys. Bye bye. Thank you for coming today and making this stream fun for me to do. I was really worried about it, so I'm glad you guys liked it. I will do another one sometime eventually. I don't know when, but I'll think of something. Okay? I'm gonna go now. Bye bye. Thank you for coming today. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. もう見えないね。今日来てくれてありがとう。バイバイ。バイバイ。バイバイバイバイ。バイバイバイバイ。